Welcome to the Tony Gomez Show tonight. Welcome. It is Monday, September 9th. Hell yeah. And in the studio tonight, I have Sergio Elizondo, Corpus Christi music historian. How you doing tonight, Sergio?
Oh, I'm doing pretty well, Tony. I'm really excited for this.
Man, I'm glad to have you here on the show. Yeah, I think we went back and it feels like it's been a couple of years since we've
Yeah, yeah.
started our friendship and kind of going over a lot of me sharing my goodies that I've had the chance to collect throughout the years, whether they be
Mhm.
flyers or VHS tapes, Integrity or shows at Backdrafts.
Uh-huh.
You've been a tremendous help getting all this stuff restored, either up on YouTube or as a hard copy, and just
Mhm.
bringing that shit back to life. Man, thank you so much. As from my personal goodies, thank you. I appreciate all the help you've given me.
Oh, it's a pleasure, Tony. Yeah, I can remember the first time I met you. So like long story short, guys, I met Tony at the rock and roll flea market at the House of Rock. So I knew of you for
Yeah.
like a while now because you're from Killamora and stuff like that. So I knew of you. Like some of my friends, they actually like my uncle's friends, they went to like Corpus to see you perform and stuff. So I know your name, but I never like talked to you until then. And I knew that like you went to these shows and concerts, and I already like I knew like, oh, I want to do this. So I asked you like straight up like, hey, do you still have your posters, or you know anything about this? And you kind of stopped for a minute, like no one ever asked me this before in my life. And it's like, oh, I do actually. And like actually here I have one of your tapes that digitized. This one's from EJ's. That's
Oh, cool.
Integrity, Catatonic, and Sufferance.
Killer. Hell yeah. Some classic old school Corpus
Yeah,
Christi local underground metal right there. Love it. And
yeah, this
Catonic, that was a band from Houston. Yeah. What is that
oh.
another one you got there?
No, it's the same one, but I just want to
Okay.
show you like the physical copy and stuff like that. I have a couple of more, but like I'll show you later on. But like this is like it's where it all started right here. This tape.
Yeah, that's
It's
where
for
it all
like
started.
yes, let the music happen. But yeah, I've been doing this like feels like a year or like a couple of months, but like I just been doing like this hustling every single day, learning more, talking to more people and stuff.
Man,
It's
I've
been really
seen it
cool.
because since then, since we met each other at the House of Rock, at the Rock and Roll Flea Market, I've been a regular over there, and you've been coming over there to hang out, and that's where you actually kind of catch up with the rest of us, like Ralph Davila from Cat House, and he's contributed. How about Richard Guerrero from Action Get Action, and of course the Crayons, and
uh,
he's a tremendous resource. I tell you, Richard is the man. He put together
yeah, yeah.
Subcultured, and I got to give Richard humongous props for being such a great historian of
There you go.
wanting
Yeah,
to actually tell the story of the Corpus Christi underground scene that I grew up in
yeah.
as well, and and putting all the effort into getting it done and doing all the interviews and just really putting together an awesome documentary about a special time in my life here and a special time in a lot of people's lives in this town that owe Richard a lot for just for bringing that to light and to always remembering those the days of old, the golden days. And it's Subculture. It is an awesome kick-ass documentary, and so if you haven't seen it, you got to definitely watch it. You might have it in your possession. I think you might have had it in your bag
I
of
do
tricks,
actually.
Sergio.
So yeah, I
Yes.
got like the posters and the VHS tapes, but like, I got Richard's documentary and like I just announced it right now. I'm gonna like post the link, the YouTube link to this movie for the CC Riffs members so they can see because it's not out in public yet. But the link, I'll share it to everyone
Very
there in the
cool.
page, and they can share it and they can like learn about the history about Corpus and like Richard's been like a great like he's almost like a mentor to me. Like this is telling me stories, telling me like the dynamics of what band and like how they did it and like what they did contributed is like what the kind of stuff they got into, be it good or bad and stuff. And like I really owe it a lot to him. And like this is like the Bible basically. It's that's a really good like information. It's like it's barely touching the surface. Like there's
Yeah.
way more to be learned. And I feel like what I've been doing on the CC Risk page has kind of like been like adding more towards it because like I've been trying to like actually find the stories he's mentioned, like physical, like bootlegs, VHS tapes and stuff,
Yeah.
and like luckily I have like free time and like the luxury to doing that stuff, like the research.
Yep.
So I was like, oh, I gotta do it. I gotta start somewhere. Yeah, so I've just been doing that
Exactly.
for a while, and like just like step by step. Eventually, like people see what I'm doing, and like you've been seeing it too on the page. People have been posting like crazy pictures. Like I think like I'm not sure you saw it last night. Someone posted 2 pictures from the ACDC show at the Ritz.
Yes, I saw the ticket price was $6.
I can't believe it.
Yes,
It's
and
so
it
crazy.
was Y&T opening up for ACDC at the Ritz yesterday and
Yeah,
today. I saw the little
yeah,
paper clipping also, dude. That was
yeah.
tight,
No,
man. Two of my favorite all-time bands, and at the Ritz, one of the best fucking venues. It was I want to say either 1978 or 79. It said on the stub.
yeah. So I think I'm not sure if they played there twice, but I know they played there like one time, 78. That's ticket stubs, but like the Ritz has
That
been it's
blows me
crazy. Like
away.
yeah, and the crazier part is like freaking like Iggy Pop played there and like with and like other people like Patti Smith and like just even Suicidal
Yeah.
Tendencies and like I can't believe it. Like so like like getting to my background, my family we're from Alice and stuff. So like we didn't like I'm not sure my grandparents, but they have luxury like just going from Alice to Corpus. But they do go to Corpus. They went to like the hot old dance halls, like the Galvan Ballroom and the Stardust Ballroom. I don't know if they ever went to the Ritz Theater, but like the Ritz had like crazy history to it, and like that's like touching the surface of it too. Like there's the
Yes.
'60s, no, the '40s, '50s, '60s, and the '70s. Like the music hall era starts until like the late '80s and stuff.
Oh man, we'll talk a little bit more about the Ritz here. I got it on my agenda today, as well as the Coliseum, talking about some of the landmark places over here, and of course that means we're gonna
Mhm.
get some Texas Sky Love in there and Johnny Land, and
Oh, I got the
let's
stuff
shout out to
ready.
a couple of people that are already tuning in to the show. Cosmosis, what's up? And Richard Morales, I appreciate you watching the show tonight. Anybody that's watching, join us in the chat room if you got any comments or any questions. Want to comment about the Ritz or your favorite show, maybe your first concert, share some of that great Corpus Christi history, and let's have some fun tonight. All right. So
Yeah, yeah.
moving on, you put together this well, let me backtrack just a little bit because I took some great notes over here, so you helped me out get this integrity VHS tapes up on YouTube. You fixed the CD, you got that up on YouTube as well.
Yeah, that was
um
yeah.
and and I turned you on to we shared a lot of reminiscing moments going over some of these flyers I had in my house, and then before you know it, I'm handing them over to you, and and it was great. And what kind of was there something um before you met me that inspired you to get into our local music history?
Oh yeah, I got the perfect like story and answer for that. So basically, I moved to Corpus in 2018. I did college here for all 4 years and stuff. And like, I went to some local shows, but it didn't hit me like, oh, the scene's like it's legendary. And the one band I did see do like a reunion thing was Matt Hole, the Hot Rod Gang. I was best
Yeah.
friends with like the original like bass like a signing bass player Keith Rawlings, and Keith is like a really good friend. Like he's like his wife's friends with my mom, and like they're like cat rescue
Whoa.
or animal rescue people and stuff like that. So I knew Keith by proxy, and like me and
Wow.
Keith were, like music, like bands, blah blah, for example, all that kind of stuff. And like it's like, oh yeah, my
Yeah.
band toured on Austin. We played this Joyland thing. And I was like, I know Joyland. That sounds familiar. My uncles talked about that. And eventually, his band Matt Hole and the Hot Rod Gang had a reunion show at the surf club, and I was like, wow, there's a lot of people here, and like they're all really excited. And I was like, I wonder who this guy is. And it's like Matt Hole's like a guy, but he's a musician, but also he's British. Like he's a thick accent still, and I was like, that's interesting. And
Yeah.
like people like talk, introduce him, stuff like that to him, and I was like, I wonder there's more to it. And like I just kind of stuck on there for like a year and a half. And eventually we looked into like Matt Hole and the Hot Rod Gang, and like I did. And I found like, oh crap, they played a shit ton of times at Johnny Land. They opened up for the Butthole Surfers and Reverend Horton Heat and the Toadies.
That's
I was like,
right.
that show was like legendary. Talk about the show later on, but like I eventually met up Matt Hole, got his stuff digitized too. I got some like Bayfest, some old stuff. Played at the White Rabbit. Played at Center Theater. Got on
Yeah.
YouTube, but like I think I'm not sure it was you first or Matt Hole second. I forget which order, but I know you two are the first people like who actually said like, okay, you can do this. Yeah, totally, I trust you. And like the whole like putting your faith in me and like with your stuff has been like super cool. And like I never had that experience in my life. So like thank you, Tony. Thanks, Matt Hole.
Hey, and it's not. It was some part of me was saying, I hope I get this shit back. You know what I mean? And I'm sure Matt did too. But I was like, why do I doubt, man? Sergio's he's got the best of intentions. He really is digging this stuff. I think I'm really putting it in the right guy's hands to really put it out there the proper way.
Yeah.
and with respect, man. And when I got the stuff back, it was given to me back even better than I gave it to you.
Hell
so thank
yeah.
you so much. I really appreciate the way everything was handled so professionally.
Yeah, of course. So let me tell you, like, let me tell the chat, like, of the videos, like, how I did it. So me and the owner of the High Records, Carlos Cooper, worked in conjunction with each other. Like, he's like, hey man, I know you're doing this music thing. You have content posters, but like, do you think it'd be badass if we made a gallery, like, put posters and shit? And I was like, yeah, I think it'd be cool. Cool, we could do that. And I asked you, Tony, and I asked like Jimmy Smithwick, and we got a crap ton of posters.
Yeah.
We put a produce barcode downtown. And like we made sure, like, okay, these are fragile, like they're papers and like they're old. So let's wrap them up. Let's put some magnets in the back so they're not stapled in to the walls.
Yeah.
Or nailed in rather. So I was like, okay, cool. And that's how we gave it to you. But like the show was like amazing, really good turnout.
They're all original. You know what I mean?
It was crazy, yeah.
It was very cool. A lot of that stuff was so delicate and had frayed edges and stuff like that. Been folded I don't know how many times, by having flyers in your back pocket, picking them up at a show and getting back home and unfolding them and then taping them or stapling them to your wall at the house. And that's how we saved them. And and I know our friends, the Gutierrez brothers over at Chacho's Tacos, are from Drastic Actions, our brothers over there, Arnulfo and Michael. They have a hell of a fucking collection of flyers, and I seen them put towards the Facebook page that you got, and nothing but great times. And also shout out to Albert and Richard from Brutal Poverty. Great fucking contributions to the page, bringing back a lot of great fun times that we were all there to enjoy, man. I'm really impressed that we're alive and kicking and still look back and laugh at all this shit.
Yeah, no, I can't believe it either. So I like when I met Arnulfo first time, like I guess like a year or two ago at Chacho's Tacos and stuff, and like I could tell he was a rocker fool. So I was like, oh, he knows a lot, but I didn't realize how much he knows and how much he has until like a couple of months ago, and eventually became like friends and stuff. And like recently, I was in Chacho's Tacos this time about like. That's what I've been like discovering and stuff, and like all the stuff I've been like getting towards the page and stuff. And it like he's like, hey man, I live nearby. You want to give me a ride? I'll give you like this DVD with like the Drastic Action like concert videos. Like I was like, dude, I gotta work, man. I was supposed to get tacos for my brother, but I was like, man, screw it, let's do this. I drive him to his house. Was there in his garage for a good like 20 minutes, just going through just like old posters and just like. I'm gonna try to go up to like the owner of House of Rock, Casey Lane, to get them digitized and like make like big copies and stuff for like the handout. I remember, I think we talked about like a couple of months ago, saying like, oh, we badass, you make big copies of the flyers, just give them out,
Yeah, that's cool too. Yes, talk about some badass nostalgia that you can take home and frame and put in your own collection at home. Man, good stuff. And yeah, shout out to Casey Lane over at the House of Rock. Always a great contributor to anything that's going on with the community and that's bringing attention to the local scene, the local music talent that's here. Big shout out and props to Casey and Stan over there at the House of Rock. Love you guys. And, thinking about that, so As Below, So Below, As Below, So Above, came out and it was fucking kicked ass. I love the premiere. That was a great night. Super energy, a great turnout. And I think it ended up running for a little over 2 weeks, right?
I think 4 weeks actually. So originally it was supposed to run 2 weeks. Yeah. So they were like, hey, can we extend this to art walk? Because like you'll get more attention like for the bar and stuff like that. More people like check it out and buy drinks. So we sent it
Yeah.
to art walk, and like I wasn't there the entire time, but from what I heard, it's like a crap ton of people saw it, and like it's like a thing with like making live music, like recorded, and like you don't know who's gonna listen to it. You don't know who's gonna see your flyers and your artwork there in the gallery. You just hope for the best and stuff. So we had a pretty good turnout. A lot of people got like, "Damn, dude, these posters are so crazy. I can't believe they exist still." And I was like, "Yeah, because this guy named Tony Gomez, he just kept them all like for this long and like in this like condition for like the longest time, and like we just want to show them off to the community because I think the community has a right to know about its past, which I hope can like help them like better understand their present, and like better like for the future,
Yes, man. And I really appreciate that, man, because we came, me, Arnulfo, the guys from Anchor Wide, Devastation, Final Assault, all these the old school Purple Mushroom. We come back from an age where you didn't have cell phones, you didn't have VHS tapes at the beginning. All that
Mm-hmm.
shit barely started coming around, and there really isn't too much evidence that it even happened besides a few pictures that were taken, that people still have in their own personal belongings. And
Exactly.
and so the flyers are something that all of us heads always saved because hey, if we weren't playing in the bands, our friends were playing in those bands. And we always wanted to support our friends. The flyers look cool, or sometimes our friends design the flyers too. So there was always some sort of vested interest in saving a flyer, maybe even blowing it up or putting it away to save it for a later day. And a lot of places like on the West Coast and East Coast, bands like Agnostic Front, and on the West Coast, Black Flag had some badass artists that designed their flyers that would make fucking awesome posters at anybody's hangout room or man cave. And I've got a bunch of them too, and I want to share those with you. And they're super cool, but I really hadn't shared them with you because they're more of that's New York stuff. They're
Yeah,
flyers that I
yeah,
traded out with some other people, and I really just wanted to make sure you knew about the Corpus Christi part of them. But that's the other part
yeah.
of what we did. We traded a lot of cassettes through the mail. We traded a lot of flyers through the mail. Maximum Rock and Roll magazine and other
Mm-hmm.
fanzines were the way that us teenagers in 86 and 85, 84 communicated with each other all across the country. And it was a big, strong punk rock movement. Hardcore was really coming about. And on the other end of the spectrum, they had hair metal. 83, 84, 85, you had Rad, Twisted Sister, Motley Crue coming around. So you had all these different elements coming. And then then you had Metallica starting to breathe. You had Anthrax starting to breathe in New York. And it was just such a great time. And you bringing light to the old school days where we're looking at these flyers where Anthrax came to town, and either Devastation, that was their first show opening up, or it was Anthrax Metal Church in DRI, where the fans were ripping up the front 2 or 3 rows of chairs so that way they could mosh and just throwing them in the back.
That's
It
my
was
favorite
fucking,
story. Yes.
it was awesome. One of my favorite shows, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But I just love the fact that the appreciation and the hard work that you put into putting that show together over there at the Produce. I thought it was very well done, and I'm looking forward to the next project that you're out there that you're going to put out for the community.
Yeah, that it's like we don't have a definitive date yet, but we're the small steps, the like in the works and kind of stuff. And I'm talking to Casey, or just like I don't know, it's like we're making baby steps, but like I would like to like have another show, like because the page, I know these like posters, these flyers. Like, I thought you're the only one who had. A couple more people in the community have it too. I was like, oh, this is badass. It's more like variety and stuff now.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good to know. Yeah, and
Good,
like
good. Because, a lot of my stuff was really a lot of 80s, maybe a couple of early 90s, but mostly a lot of your stuff that you had was in that early 80s, 90s realm. Not too much of 2000s. And I think
yeah, it's a
that just
few.
leaves a
Yeah,
lot of room for so much more to showcase. whether
Yeah.
it's whatever kind of music. And that's what I like is in your Corpus
Mhm.
Christi magazine, the Corpus Christi Riffs, that page, should I say, on Facebook.
If you like the
It,
magazine.
all genres are loved and appreciated right there. It doesn't
Yeah.
really matter what kind of music you're putting out, because it's just a great community page where everybody can really remember the old school bands, pay tribute to them, honor them, and just remember, especially a lot of those players who aren't alive with us anymore, that are good friends
Yeah.
and great guys that either inspired us or kind of paved the way for guys like myself playing in the local bars around here and stuff. And seeing them play, always inspires us local guys that, fuck yeah, I want to do that shit too. I bet I bet when I saw a lot of bands doing cover stuff, I never thought it was going to be for me. And it wasn't until I did my own original stuff for like 20 years, I was like, what the fuck am I waiting for? I just want to jam. So that's where that all came from. But
Yeah.
when the first band I saw really do it was the Spasmatics, and saw them, of course, over at Brewster Street, and thought, man, that's a pretty good little gig. And then I went and saw them again the next month, and I thought, it's a good gig, but it's the same gig. And so that's what I did. And I wasn't so excited about it, was that pretty much
Mhm.
even the skits, even between the songs, were repetitive and kind of just copycat. And so I thought, you know what, I'd love to do something like that, because I like the songs that they're doing, but I'd like my own series of songs to pick from.
Mhm.
But we got to keep changing it up, keep it fresh, so
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
way it's
Yeah.
never the same show. And
Yeah.
one thing leads to another, and then Fistful of Metal comes around, and here we've been doing
Mhm.
this shit for 15 years. And
Yeah. Yeah. I can't believe it too. Yeah.
time goes by too fast, man. And that's why I like being able to reminisce about these older days, and just remember great times like that, because time goes by too fast, man. We grow up too fast, our kids grow up too fast,
Yeah.
and we work a
Mhm.
lot, we go to school, and all that stuff's so consuming that it's good to kind of reflect on the past, and remember where we come from, so that way we can just make that future that much more brighter for us. But let me tell
Yeah.
you
Of
about,
course. Mhm.
I want to bring to light the CC Riffs page, because it does talk a lot about Memorial Coliseum. It's got an album about the Coliseum. It's got the Ritz. So let's talk a little bit about the Coliseum. So anybody out there that's watching the show, if you've seen a show at the Coliseum, let us know who you saw. Um, Tell me who
Mhm.
you would like to highlight when it comes to the Coliseum. Sergio?
Uh, yeah, no, the Coliseum's like that's one of like the venues that my family from Alice, they went to see bands there. Like my mom told me a story how like she saw White Lion with her cousin around like the late '80s, and so I think with Queensryche, or it's I forget who, but like she saw White Lion for sure. And also like
Yeah.
my cousins, they saw like wrestling, I think WWF, like doing that. The Coliseum was like an everything thing. So like not just music, it was like performance, it was like y todo, it was everything. So yeah,
Yeah.
no, the Coliseum is like I think it's been since like the 40s, 50s. Like it's been there for, I mean, it was there forever, but it started music hall and like bands like Elvis, Johnny Cash, like a lot of like the old Western guys, something like that. It's like
Yes.
that's like touching like the surface, because like as you know, most course people know, people who watch document like the movie Elvis, he was banned from here in Corpus Christi and stuff. So
Here in
kind
Corpus
of
as
like
well. Wow.
yeah, it's kind of like the movie Footloose. Corpus had a point where it banned rock and roll for like a long time. So there's a point where like there's not really like any like concerts for a good couple of years. So a lot of these like Corpus people are like kind of contained, and like they're kind of like, I want to get out, I want to do something, I want to listen to live music,
Yeah.
and like that's that personally, that's what I think's the reason why some of the shows get a little bit offhand. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Because like
sir.
they were just like this and withheld and stuff. But like the Coliseum had like crazy shows, like the Kiss show with the plasmatics or whatever, with like the whole
Yeah.
like satanic panic. So basically, Kiss was playing, and like there was like a church group, and like they're like, no more Kiss bad, and
Yeah.
like
In the
whatever.
front of the
There's a big
Coliseum.
ass cross. Yes, I don't know if you went to that show, but I always hear about that show.
Yes, that's an infamous show, right? The Creatures of the Night, right there.
Yeah.
And Wendy O. Williams and the Plasmatics opening up that one. Oh, Alex Dominguez, shout out Alex to Annihilator right there. Always one of his favorite bands right there, Plasmatics. And he left after
Yeah.
Plasmatics. It was talking
Dude,
about that. He said, "Fuck Kiss." And I want to give a shout out. Hey, honey, thanks for watching the show. That's my wife, Lori. She said her first show was with me. It was seeing Tesla, and it was on the Psychotic Supper tour. And Tesla kicks ass, man. I love Tesla. So the Psychotic Supper, I remember I was there with my best friend Baldy and Renee the dog Mendez. And then we got Richard Montes. He shouts out his first concert at the Coliseum was Judas Priest and Def Leppard in 1980. Damn,
yeah,
I missed
dude.
that one.
What a combo, dude.
That's badass.
No,
Well, thinking about the Coliseum, my first gig at the Coliseum would have to be, it would, shit. I'm thinking, was it Kiss? What came first, Lick It Up or Animalize? I think it was Lick It Up. So it would have been
Lick It Up.
Kiss Lick It Up on the Lick It Up tour. And I think it was Vinnie Vincent maybe opening up for him. And no, how can it be Vinnie Vincent?
No, they hate each other.
No, so it's something else. But anyway, it was Lick It Up. And then after that, man, I've seen Night Ranger there. I've seen Billy Idol on the Rebel Yell tour. I saw Loudness with Poison and Cinderella opening up. And Loudness is the loudest band I've ever seen at the Coliseum. Yeah. They were so fucking loud. And I was the front row and the speakers over here, and still, God damn, it was loud.
Yeah.
Who else? Motley Crue. Let me tell you a story about Motley Crue. Okay, so Motley Crue, Theater of Pain, I guess that might have been 86, 87. Maybe 85, 86, more like that, because I think I was still maybe a freshman in high school. And anyway, man, I was mowing yards to get to buy my ticket. I bought my ticket to Motley Crue, and I had to buy it at Craig's Record Factory. Shout out Craig's Record Factory, hell yeah. And I got my ticket, and I had it in my room. My mom knew where it was, and my report card came up, and it just so happened I had to get that shit signed before the concert came up. So I failed, I don't know, maybe a couple classes. She signed it, but she took my ticket away. And I was like, fuck, how am I going to get to the show? I didn't worry about it. I fucking went to Craig's Record Factory, and I do a dumpster diving in the back alley. It went into their dumpster, and I found like maybe 10 blank tickets that were Ticketmaster tickets, but they were blank. So I got them, and I got my friend's ticket, and with a pencil, I mimicked exactly note for note, letter for letter, the one ticket versus one ticket. And the day of the show, I told my mom, hey, I'm going to go over to my friend David's house, and we're going to hang out, and we're just going to watch football all day. And she said, all right, I'll see you later on. Well, from my house over there at Staples and Everhart, I walked all the way downtown to Memorial Coliseum, and then I waited in line, and fuck yeah, dude, they took my ticket, and they didn't give it a second glance. I was in there, checked out Motley Crue, Theater of Pain. It was a kick-ass show. So that's my story about Motley Crue. You know, sometimes, headbangers, you can't stop us. We're going to figure out a way.
For sure.
We're lie, cheat, steal. If we got to rock, we got to rock.
Yeah, I know. I think I forget who it was. Maybe it was like the guys in Brutal Poverty, Brutal Rich and Brutal Bird. They told a story how like they snuck into like one of the Coliseum shows, like
through the restroom.
Yes, through the roof, to the restroom, and inside, and they stage dive, and I was like, and they knocked one of the security guards out, and I was like, that isn't real. But yeah, no, it's I've been like talked about like a couple of times, been confirmed. So like,
yes, it's real.
Like, pictures of that show or videos of like them doing it or any Brutal Poverty like video in general, let me know, because like I would love to see more Brutal Poverty.
I'd love to see that, dude. But that is true. There were guys. There was an infamous way of getting inside the Coliseum was through the restrooms. They had the glass, the blind restrooms would kind of open up. They'd wind up, and you just got to sneak the fuck right in there. You'd have a breakfast glass in there. You find a way to get inside of a show. And
there's a will, there's a way.
Exactly. Yes. So let's talk about some other shows over there. They also had Ronnie James Dio. So fucking Dio came on the Holy Diver tour. That was a fucking awesome tour. I saw him on the next one also, Last in Line. They called it D-Day because it was January 2nd, and it was Ronnie James Dio with Dokken. So they had Dio and Dokken at the Coliseum. Dokken was on Tooth and Nail. What a tour. Who else am I met? Fucking Slayer. I think I posted.
Dude.
Somebody posted some Slayer, I think, on your page.
Yeah. So,
from the Corpus Christi Slayer show. I was like, oh, that's badass. That was the shit.
So the guy posted that his name is Teddy. He was in the band Riverbed. He's like, I think his parents own a restaurant. I forget what the name of it. I think it was Sparky's, I want to say. But like that dude, I don't know how he took a crap ton of pictures at the Coliseum, and he like took the most like badass pictures of the Slayer guys, just like up close.
Hell yeah.
And I'm thinking like, and I was like, he has these pictures, but like, how did he do it? Because like these are like cameras that require film. And I remember I'm not that young, but I remember like if you were like taking pictures on film or disposable, you don't know if you got a good shot until like the very next day until you get developed and stuff. So like it's kind of risky. You bring it in and it was like the lighting and whatever. And I was like, this dude has a crap ton of pictures and like he's been like a really good friend of mine. Dude, he's a really amazing guy, but like and like people have been posting pictures of the Coliseum too. Do you see like the STP Stone Temple Pilots and Megadeth?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Up there?
Yeah, some I forget the guy's name, but he posted a picture of like the Megadeth show at Coliseum in '93, and I was like, "Hey, this is weird," but like
That's a good one. That was the last time Megadeth came and played a big the Coliseum. After that, they actually played little bars. They came and played some bars here because it was kind of a lull in their career.
Yeah, like during the '90s and stuff like that, a lot of like the older bands they played at like the bar venues, like Buckets or Q's and stuff like that, and like '90s. But like it's like people are like, they did this, blah blah. It's like the grunge, screw the grunge, like that's just the kind of like the change of times, evolution of like bands, and eventually now you're seeing it too. It's like some of these older bands can like now sell out arenas, but back in the '90s it was like a big dip in the culture and stuff, just the change of times.
Yes, it's like the grunge got the best of the metal bands, But when I think about Q's or Buckets, it was either one of the two. They had one of the best shows ever to hit Corpus, which was Slipknot, Machine Head, and Cold Chamber. And Slipknot on their first album. Machine Head was on the Burning Red, and Cold Chamber was on their first album. Oh shit! It was fucking insane. It was a Texas guy show at Q's. It was fucking brutal, bad as fuck.
So I don't have it with me right now, but I got donated like some Texas guy posters and stuff. I'll bring it out later. But like the guy who like gave me the posters and stuff, he's like, "Hey man, I know you're doing this thing, but like here's some of my ticket stubs." And I was like, "Okay, cool." I look at ticket stubs like, "Oh shit, this is like the Cold Chamber, like the Q, like the Bucket Show." Slipknot. I was like, "Yeah man, Corey Taylor autographed it," and I was like, "I need to post that," but like it was crazy and like I'll bring out the posters and let me do it right now.
Yeah, dude. Let's see that real quick. Shout out to Cat Ralph. What's up? Yes, Ralph. Man, he's an old schooler. He's got some great stories. Hell yes. Oh, look at that. That's badass. Dude, look at that one, dude.
June 1st. With Monster Magnet and Soak. I didn't know that. But yeah, no. This guy, I forget his name. I think it's John or something like that. I forget his name. I'm sorry if you're seeing this, but can't think of it right now. But he gave me these posters for free and stuff like that. I think he was like a promoter and stuff, and like he still has a crap ton of like the same posters that he's selling still. But like I got some really cool ones like Boys to Men.
Oh shit! Yeah, they making their rounds here in South Texas. Boys to Men. Hell yeah. I'm sure they had a fucking packed house.
Of course, the Wallflowers and Toadies.
Oh, Wallflowers. All right. Shout out. Dylan right there.
Guitar and also
hell yeah.
Leonard Skinner with Peter Frampton and 38 Special.
Hey, that's a classic Rock Heaven show right there.
Exactly. And also
fuck yeah.
There's a poster of Green Day.
Is that Green Day over there at the at Johnnyland?
Yeah, Texas Sky, yeah.
Well, I was there at that one, and let me tell you, there was a badass moment where Billy Joe Armstrong brought up a kid in the front of the front row And he
Uh-huh.
brought him up, and it was Basket Case. He goes, "Can you play this song?" I was, "Yeah, I can play it." "Well, here, show me." He handed him the guitar. He fucking
Uh,
started playing it. "All right, guys, let's go. Let's play it." Well, that kid tore it up. I want to know who that kid is. If
I
anybody
got
was
you.
at that Green
I
Day
got.
show, I want to know who that kid is, because when I saw him, I thought that motherfucker's gonna be a rock star. Look at him right there.
Yeah.
He's fucking turning up a Green Day already, and he doesn't even have a band yet. Just wait till he gets a band. He's gonna be unstoppable.
Okay, I know who did that. I'm really good friends with the guy. So that guy his name was Andrew. I don't know his last name, but his name was Andrew. So one of my best friends and like my child best friends like Ruben Mandel, shout out to him. His older brother Louis Mandel is in a band called Heavy Soul, and I know the guy Andrew was I think he's like a I think guitarist, whatever, bass player, and I recognized his name. I was like, wait a minute, Louis in this fan with this guy. I recognized him from the actual article itself. So I went to one of their shows, I think at Cassie's or whatever, and I was like, hey, dude, this sounds weird, but is this you? I was like, oh yeah, it's me, man. I did that. I was like, I just got back from like a trip from like marching band and stuff like that, and I saw it and like I stage dived too, and I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, he's a Corpus still. He still jams. So shout out to Andrew. Shout out to Heavy Soul.
They're a three-piece, right?
Yeah, they're really good. And like
Hey,
they played
that
House
dude
of
is
Rock, Heavy
good.
Soul.
He's a
Yeah, so
badass bass player. Heavy Soul's a great band. They got
yes,
each one of those guys kicks ass. The drummer fucking really lays it out. I've seen
yeah,
him. I've seen that band over at the Rock and Roll Flea Market. Thank you, Ralph Dahlia, for bringing live music, and we need more live music out there. So if
yeah,
you
for
got some
sure.
bands that are
Yeah,
willing to play for free, contact Ralph, because maybe we might have a place where you can showcase your talent during the Rock and Roll Flea Market. Just an
yeah, I
idea.
know.
Hint, hint.
Yeah,
I'm sure
yeah,
Stan would
no,
help
no,
us
it's
out. But
yeah, of course, but
I saw him play there, and I thought, man, these guys are fucking good. Hell
yeah,
yeah, man. And
and
so Andrew's a
Andrew's the
bass
one with the
player.
glasses. Yeah, yeah, I think Andrew. Yeah, but he's because Louis is kind of like
He's
he's kind
solid.
of laking. Yeah, he's like you can tell Louis is, but Andrew's kind of like he has a beard and stuff like that, and I
Yeah.
think he's sunglasses sometimes. But like, see,
Yes.
Andrew, that's the Green Day show. He's the one who
Shout
stage
out
dive.
to Heavy Soul. I need to get them on
Yeah,
the podcast, man. That would
dude,
be a
get
good that'd be a
Andrew.
good talk.
Yeah, dude, he's like stories, but like he's telling me this. I was like, it's like, yeah, man, I used to have the article on my wall and stuff like that. And they literally went to my house to keep some Skidmore and stuff. I
Yeah.
don't know where it's at, but it's kind of nearby, but it's kind of like in the Mathis, like that kind of general area. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But like
Yeah.
the call times went to his house to like get like to interview him and stuff like that. And like he's like,
Yeah.
yeah, man, I had the exact I had a guitar, and he's like, okay, you have a trampoline, jump in the air with your guitar for the picture.
Yeah.
So there's a picture of him at the Call of Times, like
In
just
the
like
air.
jumping up. Yeah, so there's a guitar and like, yeah, man, I used to have a picture like the actual physical one, and like I didn't see it for like years because like it's got old and stuff. And I was like, I got it on my phone right here,
That is
and it's
so
like,
cool, man.
yeah, and that's how I usually like approach people like, oh yeah, here's this article. That's your band. Well, you want to talk
Yeah.
more? It's like they open up and stuff.
Man, I'm so glad you could tell me who it is, man. I've wanted to know the answer to that for years. And
Dude, yeah,
ooh, wow. So that's an awesome poster. That's an awesome poster.
exactly. Yeah.
You got
No,
a couple more?
hold on, I
The
think I
last one
might.
was a Green Day one.
No,
I think
the
did you post
the
something,
best.
or did somebody post something for like White Zombie or Rob Zombie? Because they were
Yeah.
actually the last band to play there was a White Zombie.
Oh, I think okay. So it was like it was Rob Zombie. So I mean, like it is White Zombie, but like it was Rob Zombie to like play. I think with
But
Monster Man.
I
I think.
get it. He plays
Yeah,
everything anyway.
yeah. But yeah, no. Here's the last two posters of my Texas guy. Here's Creed on their first tour.
Ah, did it say the bands that played with them? Because I want to say that Propane out of New York played there.
Yeah. So it says right here
Dangerous
on the
Toys.
actual poster. Cool for August and Sam I Am. I think Dangerous Toys was actually the first like rock group to play Giant Land.
Ah,
Shout out to
all
Jay
right.
Master. Yeah. And
Fuck
my
yeah.
last poster I have from here is Third Eye Blind.
All right. Yeah, I
I
remember
don't.
that one coming around. Yeah.
Yeah,
Of
doesn't
course, I didn't go
say
to that
who's.
shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's so
Some
neat
shit
to
I
see
like,
it.
man,
Yes.
but Third Eye Blind ain't
Yeah.
one of them.
I it's I was like for these things I can't like I can put aside my biases, something like that, because like like whatever
Oh,
sometimes.
I would
But
never.
like,
I want to see it
but
all. I
yeah, I know,
want to
but
see
it's
it
like
all,
for
man.
me, I was like, I have to like these posters. They're historic, so I gotta
Yes.
like just get them and stuff. And that's what the page is. Like, I can't judge anything. People
No,
want to
I don't
share
want
it,
you to.
great.
Leave the judging
It,
to us.
yeah, But I was like, they could do whatever, man. It's like I don't like personally, like I don't mind if people post like San Antonio stuff because like San Antonio,
Yeah.
like the Corpus stuff in San Antonio, or like Robstown and like Rockport, and like I can't be picking and choosing because like there's a lot of like different like cities coming to Corpus, and like
We'll take
they
it.
live in Corpus. Yeah, so like I can't, because people post what they want to post. I feel honored regardless because like they saw like a
Yes.
lot of the stuff's like hidden in their collection. They don't feel the need to post them ever until they see my page, and it's like,
Right.
what do you
And
do?
then
You
they're
can't tell
like,
them like no. It's like
this is where it
yeah,
goes right here. This is where my goodies go. Now we can share them.
yeah,
Hell
yeah.
yes.
I know. Yeah, no. Let's yeah,
Let
we'll
me
text
shout
this
out
guy.
before we move on from Coliseum over to the Ritz. I want to also shout out some other memorable shows at the Coliseum. Um, I already talked about Kiss. Look it up. Animal Eyes was another great one. I remember Animal Eyes. I was at that one. Saw Sammy Hagar. I saw who else? I got the Silk. No, that's over there. The other one. I want to make
Was
sure
it
I
Metallica?
keep that in the right realm right there. That shit. That might be it. As far you, well, I gotta say Metallica
Yeah,
twice.
yeah.
Of course,
Okay,
historic Master of Puppets. They came and played. It was the last day of school in my
there you
eighth
go.
grade
Yeah.
year. But there was a bang.
Uh-huh.
Who fucking? How does it get even better? The last day of fucking school. Summer's gonna start, and Metallica's playing Master of fucking Puppets in Corpus Christi.
Yes.
That's the
Someone just
show. If you're a metalhead or if you're a rock in anything, you're at that fucking show. And I was all over that shit like white on rice. All my friends were there. It was one of the fucking biggest parties there was.
yeah,
Metallica
yeah.
fucking totally kicked ass. The gods opened up. Nobody knew who the fucking
Uh-huh.
gods were. But it
Uh-huh.
didn't matter because we were there for Metallica. And
Yeah.
the second time around, Queen's Queensryche opened up for them. And I think
Uh-huh.
Queensryche was on Operation Mindcrime, which was one of their biggest hits, one of their biggest
Mm-hmm.
successes. And just so happened, story behind that one, Craig's Record Factory used to always have bands from out of touring bands come by and sign autographs. They were Record Factory, and you could buy their albums and have them sign it, take pictures with them. Well, Queen's
Mm-hmm.
Riot was one of them at that moment. I've also met Megadeth there. I've met Wasp, Megadeth, Wasp. I want to say Metal Church as well. But on this day, it
Yeah.
was Queen's Riot, and I was there with my girlfriend in high school, and they gave her backstage passes. So when we got to the show, Queensryche finished playing. They were the first band. So Metallica's coming, and that's when she gets her backstage passes to go to the back. I'm missing Metallica because I'm not gonna let my girlfriend go to the backstage with fucking Queensryche. Fuck that. I ain't never gonna see her again. I ain't gonna see her again. She's gonna run off in the fucking bus or some stupid shit like that. So I go to check out the show and check out backstage, and the guys were, they were typical rocker guys, they're doing their flirting as much as possible and seeing who's gonna bite. And anyway, I got her ass out of there as soon as we could. I only got to see the last 3 fucking songs of Metallica, so fuck that shit. And that was definitely not one of my favorite shows to go to because if it wasn't for her getting those backstage passes, I wouldn't have spent my time in the back with Queensryche. I could have seen the fucking band. And so I missed
Yeah.
most of it. But what I do remember is on that tour, they had Lady Justice in the back. And when they played Justice,
Oh
it
yeah.
grumbled. And that was the shit. That was bad as fuck.
Oh, that is, yeah.
Yes.
No.
And so for me to get the whole gist of the show, I had to get that Metallica Binge and Purge, where they had the Seattle live, Mexico City live, and you were able to see all that shit go down. So
Oh yeah,
that was,
that's so badass.
like I said, Metallica twice. And I did get a chance to meet Hetfield, and I met I met Kirk Hammett. So I met Hetfield
Oh.
and I met Kurt outside at that event. My girlfriend got a ride home with somebody else, so that way I could stay with my best friend, Roland Pettis
Mhm.
Jr. We hung out backstage, and Roland was gonna stay with her without me, man. Roland meets everybody. He fucking meets
Really?
everybody, and if you're persistent, you're at the right place, either at their hotel room, either on the seawall, or just waiting at the back door. You're going to meet the guys because they're going to have to go from one place to the next, and you're going to be there, and they're going to
Mhm.
be cool. They've always really been cool.
Yeah, yeah, they've
So
always been good guys. Yeah.
yeah, so I met Hetfield. I had a denim jacket at that time. He
Uh-huh.
signed my denim jacket. Kirk Hammett signed my denim jacket. Um, Fucking time of my life. It was awesome, even though I missed most of their set. But I
Yeah, at
did
least
get
you
to see
saw him. Yeah.
Metallica at this next venue. So now let's talk about the famous Ritz.
Okay, let's do this.
Right. So share some Ritz love with me.
Okay, so like I said, the Ritz like is like it was like a movie theater, like a what's it called, like a film place, something like that. And it was like the first theater in Texas to have like air conditioning and stuff like that. And like when I was young, well, the main reason to go to the theater because like it's hot in the house sometimes. It's hot, so you go to the theater for air conditioning and stuff. So the Ritz had like circulated air, so like it was cooler than normal. So it wasn't until like the 70s that they started doing music. So like the first like band to like play at the Ritz like theater, it was called the Ritz Music Hall, like the rebranding of it from like a theater to like a music hall now. So it's Jerry Jeff Walker, and Jerry Jeff Walker, as you know, is like the famous like outlaw country guy, and he opened up like the venue and stuff. Into the
Yeah.
70s, like um, ACDC played there. What's it called? Meatloaf played there. I found recently, like all these bands, they played there in the 70s. But most time people remember like the 80s Ritz Theater shows. Those were like some of the most memorable ones, in my opinion. The stories I heard, at least.
I know you've got to. We had our hands on some of those flyers, like the suicidal
The
tendencies,
four of them,
Anchor
yeah,
Watt, and I want to say Fearless Iranians from Hell were on that gig. And a big shout
yeah,
out
yeah. It
to
was,
another great friend of mine, childhood friends. We grew up. His house was right behind my house in our neighborhood. Tim Abel, love you, Tim. We go,
okay,
man. We shared
I
it.
seen
We
Tim
were in the
Abel.
same
Yeah, I
band
seen Tim.
together. Me and Tim were in Aggravated Assault. My first band, I played drums, and Tim was our singer. Matt
Oh,
McLean,
okay.
rest in peace, our guitar player who's no longer with us. And shout out to
Hmm.
Albert De Leon, our bass player. Aggravated Assault, we were out there in the mix with Brutal Poverty, with Poetic Noise, with the Crayons, with um CBS, or should I say Community Crisis, a lot of the old school bands that were just kind of just getting things started, which also I got a shout out to Brewish, to Mucous Membranes, to Annihilator,
Dude.
to
Uh-huh.
Devastation, to Anchor Watt, and all these bands were the reason why we started a band. And so anyway, me and Tim, we skipped school and we went to fucking fuck school. We were gonna go see Suicidal Tendencies, and we knew if you want to be the front row, you better be there waiting. So we left school, and I got there about 10:30. He got there before I did, and we were like fourth person in line. So there was still some people there before us, but we hung out there all day. It was a fucking time of our life. The line just kept getting longer as the day went, and it's all our friends. So it's a big fucking tailgating party waiting for Suicidal Tendencies on the Join the Army
Dude,
tour. How does it get fucking
hell
better
yeah.
than that? But so yeah, so that takes care of Suicidal. And I think that was a legendary show. One of the best performances I've seen of Angkor Wat put on. The crowd was
Yeah.
hungry. Angkor Wat was like at their best right then, and it was just amazing. And Suicidal with Mike Muir, Rocky George, man, it was just one of the best times.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, you talking about the Devastation show? The Anthrax, right? The Ritz
Yes,
Theater one?
Anthrax
There
and
you go.
Deva. That was super cool. I had the opportunity to interview Alex Dominguez, and he was blown
Uh-huh.
away by Rodney, the singer for Devastation, Rodney Dunsmore. Shout out to Rodney, Devastation all day. Um, and I looked up to Rodney. I got to say, I looked up to Rodney as a headbanger. I would see Rodney at the show with his fucking war vest and all the fucking patches and
Uh-huh.
fucking the coolest shirts. He would always wear fucking underground of fucking bands that I would always love. But I was like, where does he get these shirts? Where did he get that patch? What the fuck, man? I want to. Where does he shop? Where does he get all this shit? And I was just so envious of Rodney. But he was
Uh-huh.
always so cool. Even though he didn't even even though Devil wasn't a big band, he was always, hey, what's up? You could go by, and shake his hand and just because that camaraderie of being a metalhead, we had
Yeah,
that
yeah.
bond. that if you have a Metallica shirt and you got a Megadeth shirt, hey, what's up, bro? How's it going? And it's as easy as that. And that's kind of how a lot of those bands form, because they're like, hey, you like DRI? Yeah, man. Well, I know those guys, you know, and it was kind of, that's how Dave Dave and Mike met up with like Danny Lohner and Adam Grossman and started Anchor Watch.
Yeah,
all
yeah.
the shirts, and one thing leads to another. And, you know, just fucking, that show was just so cool.
Yeah, getting back to,
we got some more shows I gotta give shout outs to.
But like before I end the quick thing. So the band Devastation, they play with Anthrax, right? So the lead singer Rodney and stuff, he books them like oh, we can play here, like, but like this is like the first show that Devastation's ever played like in a big hall, ever. That's the craziest part I can't get. I just want to like just reiterate that. I was like, the first time they ever played, it was a badass performance I heard, but like, dude, I was like shitting bricks because like it's a rich theater. People are savages there back then, and like that's the only thing I want to say about it. But it was a cool show I heard, and we displayed that poster at the gallery. But yeah, no, go on.
Yes, hell yeah. Yeah, and I kind of got thrown off because I started giving shout outs to Rodney, but you know, Rodney got that gig. He hit up the right person. He knew who to call, and he made it happen for his band, man. And that's what it takes. If you want a band, if you got a band, you want to play for somebody, you call that venue. They're not going to call you. You call them. You let them know what the fuck is up, and let them know you're hungry, and you'll play for free, and you'll play 10 minutes if that's what it takes, or you'll play 30 minutes, whatever they'll give you. And if you don't call, somebody else will.
Yeah, no, I just remember like he got paid. I remember that for sure. But like he opened up for that's crazy. I haven't talked to him as much, but like that dude is like, I can't believe the stuff he did. Like he also playing. He booked shows. He booked Nasty Savage and Watchtower at the Yellow Rose, yeah. And Nasty Savage is a crazy like shock rock band. Like they were like, you saw them before. Like,
yes, I was at that show.
I can't believe it because they're so legendary in like that genre. And like, oh, that happened in Corpus. Oh yeah, he booked him. Oh yeah, he was working Taco Bell. Oh, he was only like 18. Oh, he was only 17.
Yeah. That was, you know, it happened, and it happened. And guys like Roddy were able to, they were the facilitators of it. They believed in it. They knew what was going on. They lived and breathed this stuff.
Yeah, that's wild. But like, let's go on next topic.
Yeah. Well, real quick, as I finish up, Rodney got that gig, told him, I got our first gig. It's going to be opening up for Anthrax. And they were like, I remember Alex going, holy shit, what the fuck for Anthrax? And you know, next thing you know, they're rolling up, and Anthrax is there, and they're just super cool guys, you know, buddying up with them, and they fucking kick ass. They were able to play to their home crowd, to their hometown, and we loved them. And what a great fucking memorable, historic first show. So Devastation are definitely hometown heroes, and Texas, they're really worldwide thrash legends because they've done it. They've taken it worldwide, and their album Idolatry is probably one of the best thrash, definitely in the top 10 thrash albums ever to come out of the 80s. And, you know, they're the originators. And for them to come from Corpus, shout out, rest in peace, Dave Burke. Much respect, Dave Burke just passed away last year. But to Edward, to the both drummers, Dave Lozano, my brother, Louis, to who else we got in the mix? Of course, Henry, I had to look over here because I got the Devastation poster right here that I got.
Was it Jesse Wright? I think Jesse Wright.
Jesse, of course, the original drummer, Jesse James.
Yeah, I was like, there was like Jesse. Yeah. There you go. I was like, I know of him. Yeah.
That's right. And Alex, of course, the original.
Yes. The OG.
Good times, man. Good times. So I'm going to try not to get into too many stories, but I do got to say, King Diamond, Abigail at the Ritz was one of the best shows there ever was, because King Diamond bringing that theatrical dungeon that he had as a stage show back then with the musicians he had. He had Mickey D on drums, who went on to be Motorhead's fucking drum basher for about 10 good years before Lemmy passed away. And then he had Hank Sherman. He had Andy LaRock. And I'm trying to think, one other guy on strings. But what was special about it is all these guys were Swedish. different from Sweden, except for the King. The King was from Dallas, Texas. So I don't know how he got them. I don't know how he got these other guys and make this fucking band Merciful Fate, which was kind of what it started out, but it ended up becoming King Diamond when things didn't work out with the whole band Merciful Fate. But what a fucking album. Abigail, the follow-up to Fatal Portrait, and bringing that show to Corpus Christi was one of the best shows I ever saw. Each one of the guys did a drum solo, a bass solo. Each guitar player did a guitar solo, and everything clicked. They brought a little baby in, which was Abigail, through a coffin through the crowd, the middle of the crowd. And the King just puts on an amazing fucking sounding show. It was one of the best shows of my life, definitely in my top 5. And to be in my hometown is another big prop to it. But here's another one. How about Anthrax, Metal Church, and DRI? Now that one we were talking about a little while ago. And shout out to my homeboy, Roland Perez Jr. Me and Roland, we met Anthrax and Metal Church. They were at a place called the Record Bar when Sunrise Mall used to be open. And they signed autographs, took pictures. We hung out with them. But the day before the show, we went and we planted ourselves up there at the Ritz. It wasn't like Suicidal where we went the day of. This time we were more determined. We went the day before. We were going to spend the night there. So we went the day before and we had fucking ice chests, and that's what we were sitting on, was ice chests. And some guys came from the inside. They worked there. They were like, "What are you guys doing?" "We're saving a spot for tomorrow night show." "Get the fuck out of here. Are you serious? That's tomorrow though." "Yeah, we're going to camp out here all night. We're going to be fucking front row." Fuck yeah, Anthrax front row. And so the guys took off. A couple minutes later, they come right back. They said, "Hey, we got a deal for you. We need some help cleaning up the background. We need the fucking floor swept. We need a mop. We need the restroom scrubbed and cleaned up. If you guys want to come in and help us do some work, we'll give you some vouchers where you don't have to spend the night, and you can come in and watch the sound check tomorrow ahead of everybody else." And they said, "Oh shit, fuck yeah, what do we got to do?" So we fucking swept and mopped the fucking floor, the stage, the back area, the restroom, scrubbed toilets, cleaned the sinks, and we got vouchers. So we went home fucking happy as fuck. The next day we show up about 5:36. The line was all across all around the fucking curb at the Ritz, waiting to get in. We saw our friends. "What's up? Where are you going?" "We're going inside." "Well, the line's in the back, motherfucker." I said, "Hey, we got vouchers. We're getting in. We tried this shit yesterday. We cleaned it up." They're like, "Oh, fuck." So anyway, we got in there. We saw Metal Church do their sound check. They did Phantom of the Opera from Iron Maiden, and they did their own instrumental called Merciless Onslaught. It was fucking the shit. So that was me, Albert, Roland, and I want to say Robbie. And it was the 4 of us. If it wasn't Robbie, it was Charlie Lichtenberger. But at the time of our lives, Anthrax, Among the Living, Metal Church on the Dark, and DRI on the legendary Crossover album. So people were ripping out chairs, throwing them in the fucking back, raising all kinds of fucking hell. But when it came to merch, they had all kinds of crazy merch, man. Classic merch that I would be surprised if somebody still has some of that shirt. We
will find out. Hopefully someone posted.
I know. Somebody, if you got some old school, you know who was gonna have it is my friend Roland. He has a hell of a fucking collection. And speaking of, we might have to hit him up, Sergio, when you got another show coming up, because if there's anybody that might have as much stuff as me and well kept, it would be Roland. So I'm talking about you, Roland. So don't be surprised if we hit you up. But let me tell you what,
looking.
We got some friends here in the chat room, real quick. I'm gonna give a shout out. And a matter of fact, yeah, he says. Roland chimed in. He says, "Tony, remember when we were in line for Anthrax, DRI, and Metal Church at the Ritz, and the owner came out and asked, okay,
literally the story.
But that's what I was talking about, brother. You remember? That was a shit. That was a shit right there.
Oh, I talked to Roland. He's nice. Yeah, Roland, what's up?
Roland. You met Roland?
No, I talked to him online. I'm like, so most people I've met in person, but I was like, oh yeah, I know you. I was like, oh yeah, I talked online. I was like, oh yeah, we have.
Yes.
But yeah, I know Roland. He's nice. I know.
Super cool, man. I tell you, that's my bro, my best friend through high school. We did everything together, bro. I'm telling you, we partied. Yes. We were partying like madmen. Oh, it was great times,
dude,
bro.
That's what's up. Yeah, I know. But
let me tell you a few more shows, and I won't go into detail, but we're talking about Ian Bay Momstein played here a couple of times. Rising Force, Marching Out,
Mm-hmm.
Trilogy. Who else we had? Celtic Frost. We had Exodus on the same lineup.
Yeah.
Devastation opened up that one. Let's see. We also had Saxon played here. Except played there at the Ritz. You had Cro-Mags and Motorhead. They played at the Ritz. That's where Edgar Watt was formed at that show. Who else would play at the fucking Ritz? Bam, 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 bam. I think that might be it for a lot of the most memorable shows that I can throw out there.
Yeah, like the metal stuff. I think like there's a lot of country.
Throw it in there. But
like I think the stuff for me is like it's the country shows, but like sometimes it's hard for me because I'm a metal guy, but I was like, bro, there's a lot of shit ton of country stuff, and I was like, I gotta find a way.
Yes.
Like, push through.
Well, let's go.
I know.
Let's talk about them Texas Sky. Share some Texas Sky history.
So Texas Sky is being like on burst. Everyone's blah blah blah. Like Texas Sky is the real reason I'm doing this whole like music project because I want more information about it. Because growing up, my uncles told me like, yeah, man, we saw Snoop Dogg in Corpus, and I was like, no way, you're lying.
Yes.
Like, yeah, he played at Texas Sky. He was all Palooza. Tool was there. I was like, okay, Tool makes sense, but I want Snoop Dogg. But it was like, yeah, it's a place called Johnnyland. I was like, that's not real. So yeah, Johnny Canales, he opened it and like that's the reason it's called Johnnyland. I was like, that doesn't make any sense either. But I'm getting into it and I was like, oh shit, Johnny Canales did make a venue. He made it with a famous like defense attorney called Abud Weta, who like he owned Fort Concert from 1982. I don't know if you've been
Fort Concert, yes.
Fort Concert gigs, yeah. But it was like it was the same patch of land that Johnnyland will be on like later on in like the early 90s and stuff. But like him and Johnny Canales like rest in peace.
Yes,
he did like
Johnny.
He was a big like the Honda promoter. He had his own like variety and TV show. He brought like a lot of attention. One of his big claim to fame, besides like bringing attention to like the whole Tejano thing. Yeah. He brought Selena Los Dinos to television for the first time ever. That's just really big. His big claim to fame. Like, oh, you discovered them.
Historic. That's right. That's our queen right there. South Texas queen.
Corpus Christi.
Yes.
So like that's Johnny Canales, but he did a show I think in the Valley. He did whatever. It was like he talked to God like, hey, I know you got some money, you got to do this land, but do you think it'd be a good thing for they can make like this outdoor concert venue for community? Because originally supposed to be like a country and Tejano like venue and stuff like that. Because like even a county, it was supposed to be a county fairs. Like it's dirt, then a few like metal chairs and tables and like a dance hall and stuff. And I was like, that's all you need. But eventually, this part I can't believe. There's a guy named Jerry Latouf, I think is how you pronounce his name. But he brought he brought a lot of the metal acts like Pantera, Typo Negative, Ozzy Osbourne, like White Zombie, Rob Zombie, like he's all responsible. But like Johnny Canales was like he left, I think, a year into it, and they changed the name to like Johnnyland, Texas Sky. But like, personally, I think he was like, you know what, this is getting a bit different than I want. I know I wanted to do. Like he did a couple of his shows there, like his Johnny Canales show for the community. Like he had like a lot of like the Hano people play there for the grand opening. But like he's like, this is kind of getting a lot different. So let me just kind of like just part ways and just like let's bygones be bygones and stuff like that. So Johnny Canales did his thing. Then Abel Weta and Jerry Latouf, they basically did that for like up until like 1998. They had a good like 5-year run. It was wild, the bands they brought there and like just like the attention they brought to the Corpus community, be it good or bad. But like we'll talk about the bad stuff later. But the good stuff is like they brought Ozzy Osbourne to Corpus with Typo Negative and Sepultura in 1996 in a patch of land that you would never think, oh, just wouldn't be like Ozzy Osbourne like play ever, but he did.
Fuck
the poster for it at the gallery. You remember that, right?
Yeah, I saw it, man. It's a great looking poster.
A huge poster, yeah. And it was like, I think the guy who actually designed it and stuff, I think he's based around like Houston or the Dallas area. He's from Texas and stuff. So he made that show for that event, and like that was crazy. And like shout out to Phil and stuff. He's Phil's like been here like from the very, very beginning. he's told me stories like just like setting like wires for that show and lights and stuff. But
Yeah,
like
Phil Salazar, Nighthawk
Phil Solis,
Productions.
yeah, he's
Phil,
been
that's
there,
right.
but
Hell yeah.
he's there for day one. He told the Aussie show like actually like rigging it and doing all this stuff, and I was like, that's wild, dude. I can't believe you. And he's been there like in every single show, like from the Ritz, Coliseum, John and that,
Yeah,
Texas Sky, small gigs like Yellow Rose, EJ's, backdrops. He
he
did it
did them all.
all. It's wild. He's a look
He,
like if you see him, like just ask him. Like don't like like waste his time, but like just like ask him a couple of questions. Like, is this real? Yeah, it is. I did this. But
I'm
yeah, so
telling you, yes. He's going to be on the show too. I've talked to him. I ran into him not too long ago. Matter of fact, we
dude,
do a lot of late night shopping. Well, not too late night, maybe between 10 and 11 at Walmart. That's when I run into him.
damn, dude. Maybe
And
that's
I
like,
told him, I said, dude, you got to be on the show. And he said, hey, whenever you're ready, call me. Yeah, we'll talk.
dude. I had
So,
a conversation with Phil, and like it was like 40 minutes on
yeah.
the phone. It was like I can't repeat it because like it's like I don't have permission to, but like he
So
told me
cool.
some stories, and I was like, that's not real.
Yeah.
But yeah, then so they get to the more like the good part of Atlantic Sky. They brought Lollapalooza to Corpus Christi. They beat out like Austin, Texas, and San Antonio
Yeah.
to bring Lollapalooza. And like most people know, Lollapalooza used to be a huge big deal in the '90s and stuff. I mean, still
Big
still,
fucking deal.
yeah. And like he brought it, like he was responsible for like securing the deal, and like
Yeah.
all these bands like played it, and it went without a hitch, and then like it kind of like went like it had a like I said, I got a good like long run and stuff, but
Uh-huh.
as the story goes, and like just not to bum anyone out, but like the lawyer son Joseph with he got in a really bad accident and stuff. I was skiing, and like Albert Wetha just put a halt on like all the music and concert stuff, and just like I mean as it really should, because like it's like you got to put all his attention to this thing, and basically kind of made a deal to himself like, hey, if my son makes it through this, and like just gonna give this whole rock and roll thing up and just turn his life to God and stuff. And like, I mean, I'm not going
Yeah.
to judge. That's his choice. We're
Yeah.
American. You know what? He did this. It was a good run, but he changed, and like that kind of like
Oh,
so bigger acts didn't come to Corpus anymore.
we
They
were
came,
crushed. That's
yeah,
right. We were crushed.
for like a couple of years where
Right.
there
No more
wasn't.
Aussies. No more
Yeah,
Panteras.
we
Yeah.
had the we had
had
the
to wait.
center, so we like because of that we were kind of more like Corpus always been like a kind of club, these small music venue town, like Buckets,
Sure.
Q's, EJ's, Backdrops, like
Yellow
small
Rose.
venues, Yellow Rose, like just small venue towns and stuff. But like because Texas Sky just kind of shut down and focused more on family friendly stuff, which isn't the rock and roll I was used to and stuff and love. But like
Yeah.
it was like there was a really big void in the Corpus music scene, and eventually that void was filled with like southern like acts like the Center Theater. Center Theater is like a place I want to cover eventually, but like
Yeah.
I had more Ritz Theater information
Uh-huh.
than the Center Theater stuff. So eventually I would like to learn more of the Center Theater, get more posters, pictures from there, and like I want to get more attention to it. I think
That's great. That
it
you
needs more
brought up a
attention.
great venue. That Center Theater kicks ass.
Yeah, and it's such a cool venue, and like just it's a shame what happened, like just kind of shut down and stuff. Like it cost so much. I don't know what the story behind it, but like had crazy amount of stuff. Like had War, Misfits, Suicidal Tendencies. You played there and stuff. A lot of great people played there, but just like many things just ended and stuff. But like it was Center Theater filling that void, and also eventually led to Concrete Street.
Yeah.
And Concrete Street had I mean, it still does kind of, but not as much as it used to. Like a huge run. Like just a big X, like
Yeah.
corn,
Well, the first one being Pantera.
Yep.
The first one being Pantera, Sepultura, and Morbid Angel, and that was right there with the Reinventing the Steel tour, and that was a cherry popper over here. That's a fucking. I want to say they had almost 15,000 people there, and it was fucking a huge fucking show. And then after that, hell, you ended up getting like Slipknot, Lamb of God, Shadows Fall. On one bill, you had Slayer and Soulfly. You start getting a lot of great shows over here.
Yeah, I know, and it was
So my
first show was I tell people this. My first show, Concrete Street, was Weird Al Weird Al. Like he did.
Weird Al.
Yeah, I think I told you that a bit. Like when I met you at House of Rock first. Like, yeah, my first show was Weird Al. Like,
Yeah,
I'm not sure
I
my first.
regret missing that, dude.
Dude,
I
it
heard
was
that
so
was a
much
kick-ass
fun.
show.
White and nerdy, fat, Amish Paradise, too fly for a rabbi and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, well, and like
all the
he was
hits.
such a good former. He did all these costume changes, and like my aunt took me, my brother. Like I know me and my brother, me and my cousin, but I just saw it was me and my brother who went there. My older brother. Shout out to my brother, Simba. But so we went there, and like it was like I really my like that I recall like my first like concert experience and stuff, and I was like, wow, this is Weird Al. I see him on like on YouTube and like on TV sometimes, but like he's actually like singing live and like with his band and just.
I regret missing that one, man. That was a fucking badass show. I heard. Damn. Well, let's talk about some Texas Sky shows real quick before we get on topic.
Okay, cool.
Of course, you know that Ozzy was legendary. He had Joe Holmes playing guitar for him at that show. I want to say maybe it was on the Osmosis tour. And I got a guitar pick from that night. I got a guitar pick. Let's see, who else do we have over there at Johnny Land? Well, of course, the last one to play there was Rob Zombie. And he played an extended long set because he heard that it was the last night that place is going to be open. So he said, we're going to fucking play some more fucking jams. Y'all ain't ready to go.
Hell
We're going to keep playing. So I think he maybe played an extra 30 to 40 minutes.
Oh, bad. So he did like some B cuts and stuff.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
One of my favorites was seeing Slayer on the Divine Intervention tour. Great light show right there, but they had Biohazard and Machine Head opening up. Heavy as fuck show. I remember seeing Danzig, and he had Marilyn Manson open up.
There you go. The first like early Marilyn Manson. That was
yes, man, and Korn. It was Korn, Marilyn Manson, and Danzig, and it was Korn's first album.
Yeah,
and I remember meeting Fieldy. Fieldy was out in the crowd passing out Korn stickers. So I got a Korn sticker from Fieldy, dude. Yeah, it was super cool.
Dude, that's wild.
You had Limp Bizkit's Ladies Night Out. It was the first Limp Bizkit album, and they had the big toilet on stage. And it was like a 2 fucking story toilet, dude. And it was fucking it was a badass show, dude. They threw down. It was so much fun. Who else do we got over there at Texas Sky? Of course. Well, let me tell you about that Lollapalooza. It was the 3rd year of Lollapalooza. And it was headlined by Prodigy, and then it had Snoop Dogg right before, and it had Tool doing an extended set because Korn canceled that date that they played here because one of the band members was sick. Might have been Jonathan. And so since Korn didn't play, it was on the Life is Peachy tour, their second album. So they were blowing up right now. But for Tool, it was on Tool's I Know My album. And so for them to play an extended set of Tool, and from that night on, I was a Tool, and I still am. Tool is one of my 2 favorite bands. But Tool, James Maynard Keener came out, and that night he had his face painted, and I'm a face painter too. So to see him come out like that, it was basically, he was bald like me. He had it painted like right around here, just plain white, and he looked like a theater mask. But it was emotionless. So when he would sing, it would give it life. But besides that, he was wearing a little wife beater, and then he was wearing these tight little biker shorts, and then he had black little patent leather shoes. And they might have been Docs, but they were low cut. And then he had these black socks that came up, and they were held by these little bands that held your socks up so they wouldn't go down. So he looked fucking trippy, dude. He looked very trippy. And they came out and put on a show like I'd never seen before. And that's the first time I saw Danny Carey on drums. And like, whoa.
Dude, he's a legend.
So you see a guy like him, and it's like, wow, man, amazing. And L7 played that day as well. Snoop Dogg put on a great set. Prodigy kicked ass. There was 2 guys in Prodigy. One guy that did the DJ shit, and the other guy that ran across stage and was singing and keeping everybody hyped up. And there was also one other guy that did some hyping up every so often. But amazing show. As Snoop was smoking on stage, nobody stopping him. He was smoking, he was blowing fucking fatties on stage, and there was cops all over the place. But he was just going with the flow.
Yeah, I know. So my family, they actually went to that show, Lollapalooza. I can't tell the full story, but basically my uncle like kind of like he did some stuff and like that might like he couldn't go.
Okay.
And like eventually his older brother Javier, my uncle Prince, like, hey, we should all go. So my
Yeah.
grandparents took all the kids, they bought them tickets, and they all went to Lollapalooza and stuff. So like him
Hell
and
yeah.
his friends, like, hey, the Mrs. Elizondo's going. He's then like, we can go, right? It's like, yeah, I guess we can go. So him, his family, his friends went to Lollapalooza '97 and stuff, and like I can't believe that story either. And just like, well, yeah, how much have I told you? But I met a guy. I mean, I talked to a guy online basically. So there's been a bootleg of the Tool show from Texas Sky Festival, Lollapalooza one, and
Yes.
I'm the one who uploaded on YouTube. But the guy who like I put on a page like, hey, I'm doing this blah blah. I was like, oh, badass! I have this thing actually. He's like, dude, it's the same thing. Are you the one who did it? It's like, yeah, it's me. I was like, what? It was like, where do you live at? Corpus. I was like, I live in Corpus now. And I was like, it was wild, dude. Like, this how
I was listening
small.
to it. Yeah, you got it on YouTube, and it's just on
Yes,
audio, right?
it's all. I mean, I would love to like. So I'm trying to find like video, like footage of like
Oh, I
any
wish.
concert. So to
What's
my
funny
knowledge,
about it
yeah.
too is because while it's recording, you hear the whole conversation that's going on between the people that are right there in that little
Yes, that's
circle.
how the bootlegs were and stuff like that. And like,
Yeah,
so,
yeah, that's
to
funny,
my
man.
knowledge,
But
that's the only like audio bootleg from that like venue and stuff like that. But the only video bootleg that I know exists, I uploaded too, is the Marilyn Manson one. I think in '96, '95. I think for dancing.
oh yeah, I bet that was good. I
Yeah,
bet that
yeah.
was real good.
I found like a copy of it and stuff like that online, and like I uploaded because like the original upload like had like a big like watermark and stuff like so like he did it, and I was like, crap. So I found like the raw file and just uploaded it and stuff. So like you can
Hey,
see how it is, yeah. But yeah, no, but yeah, Texas guy, John, that was something. If anyone
it
has
was
more like,
something else.
if someone has,
Absolutely. Hey, I
has
got to give a
pictures,
shout out. Booger Sugar in the house. Welcome, Booger Sugar. What's up?
that's my guy. Yeah, he's shout out to him.
Shout out, Booger Sugar. All right.
That's what's
Hey,
yeah.
I
So
love it.
he's he's my well like whatever like he's my uncle's he's a really good family friend of mine. I know him, but like he tells me stories and like of like yeah man, me and your uncle and your family went there Giant Land man. We went down, man. It went down, and I was
It
like,
went
and
down.
so how he got like him and my uncles and Sheila and Alice got their tickets. I think I told you this already, but let me tell everyone else. It used well, there's still there's a meat market in Alice called Mario's Meat Market. You can get
Yeah.
every it was
Buy
tax every
tickets there.
shop, buy tickets there. You can get your meat there. You buy like groceries there. You get your taxidermized, your deer
Hell
you
yeah.
killed. You can do it all. You can do your taxes there if you wanted to, and like just you cash, like.
Yes.
But like they sold tickets, like I can't believe that. But it's in the posters, like you could see like on the
Yeah.
Osborne's like buy it from like Corpus Christi, Flower Bluff, Alice, Mario's Meat Market, and I was like, bro, there's no
They had
way.
a
But
place to buy tickets in every little outskirt.
the
Wherever
small
you're at,
town,
you can buy a
yeah,
ticket close by. Hell
yes,
yeah. You know,
real,
so you mentioned buying tickets. It reminds me of the days where me and my friend Tim and Roland and all their neighborhood gang who all grew up right there behind Craig's Record Factory would go to Craig's Record Factory the night before the tickets go on sale for Dio, for Ozzy, and we'd camp out there. The party would start there. We had maybe 7 or 8 o'clock the night before. We would get somebody of age to buy us some beer, and we'd have the beer in someone's car, and we'd always have somebody old enough around with us to kind of like, hey, all right, it's his beer or whatever, or someone to go buy some more stuff for us. And we would camp out and party all night out there. And at 10 o'clock, when the doors would open, boom, it's time to get some tickets. We get set up, and it's kind of like the concert before the concert. And
yeah.
when I think about that concert before the concert, it reminds me of something that I wish that 92.7 would do. And what I want to hear is when we get a band coming to town, like anybody that comes to town lately, whether it be Soulfly, Fear Factory, El Nino, for example, have some fucking jams before the show. I always hear this concert before the concert, and in San Antonio they used to have a thing on 95.5 called the concert after the concert. They knew when the concert was finished at the show. And so they would play like a block of 3 or 4 songs from, if Pantera played that night, it was Pantera, Metallica, so forth. But I want to hear that kind of shit as I'm driving up to a concert. You know, if I'm driving on my way to go see fucking Slayer, maybe that's not the best example, but maybe it's Seven Dust. All right,
that's a more reasonable. Like
they're not always going to be playing Slayer, but if Seven Dust is in town, bang out 3 bangers from Seven Dust. Hey, this is for everybody going to the show tonight. Go down to Concrete Street, promote the fucking show. You know, it doesn't always have to be about paying spots. You know, DJs can say, go to the show, support local music. You want to have more bands come over here, you got to go over there and buy the shitload of tickets, make every show a sellout, so that way we become one of those preferred markets where bands get to come.
Yeah.
I miss that. I want the radio stations to be involved with before and after the concert kind of thing, because I always want one of my favorite songs between me and Lori is a song from John Cougar called I Don't Want the Night to End, or Ain't Done with the, it's called Ain't Done with the Night. And when you have a great night, you don't want that night to end. Whether it's, and it usually, for me, it's always around a concert, whether it's, you know, last time was, I saw Sammy Hagar a couple weeks ago, and I love Sammy. So that was one of those nights I didn't want to ever fucking end.
Yeah.
And another one is like when I do my Christmas show. Man, when we do that Christmas show, I'm on top of the world. It's Christmas fucking spirit, and I'm on top of the world. And I never want that night to end. It's magical. And so, you know, creating all these moments, you know, where we're buying tickets the night before, going to the concerts before the venue was open to get front row. You don't do that anymore because you buy your tickets and it's on your phone. You don't even have a hard copy of it anymore. You got to pay extra if you want a commemorative souvenir ticket. And that sucks.
So I know the House of Rock, shout out to House of Rock, they still do physical tickets still. If you go like a day before the show, they'll do like you have to pay it cash, something like that, but you waive like the convenience fee or whatever, like the online fee, like the extra $5 surcharge. Like so you like things it's like tickets cost like $20. That's what they say. They're $20, but online they're like $25 for the taxes and things. So everyone, like, you know, buy your tickets, like, you know, a week or day before the show at the House of Rock, get a physical ticket, you know, they'll scan it. You have still have it there and stuff like that, you know. It's just like, I think times are changing, you know, like, it's just like, I mean, it sucks, but like, you know, it's like how anything like, you know, happens. And like, I wouldn't want things to be the same, like all the time. I want some like variety and change. Just like,
I get it. Sure.
Yeah. And like what I'm seeing now is like some people like won't point fingers, something like that, but like some people are saying like, oh, things aren't the same, things aren't this, blah blah, and like where do people jam anymore? Corporate staff this, and I was like, I mean, there's still like venues, like there's small, there's boozers,
absolutely,
there's like Studio B and something like that. This House of Rock, there's like, you know, exchange at different venues that you can't see live music. Corpus is still and always will be a live music town. It's just like if people like choose to like go support it because like you're like, you know, as you're getting older and like the economy, whatever, it's like your time is your money, you know, it's like it's how you choose to spend it, you know, and like things are getting cheaper. But like sometimes we got like free shows that, you know, it's like free events and stuff like that for the community and stuff. And like also it's like, you know, you're getting old, like you know, I don't want to go out as much and stuff like that, you know. And I think you can't go out, okay, you know, we're human, but like at least like encourage people to go out, you know, like encourage the youth. Don't gatekeep, just like encourage, you know, like just don't be like an old fart, like just like encourage people and stuff. And that's my 2 cents.
Keep supporting that live music, and thank God for everybody that keeps doing the art walk. First Friday of every month. That's a free community event that's always got free music for you to either walk up to the Point, to the House of Rock. There's all these stages going on downtown. Please, everybody keep going. And if there's anybody that's listening that maybe from the Point or from the House of Rock, I want to get my AC/DC tribute band or my Pantera tribute band to play out there. So hit me up. Hit me up, all right? Because I want to get out there. I've never played Art Walk, and I want to do it with one of my tribute bands. I think it'd be a blast. Yeah, or Fistful of Metal, even. Let's get some cover bands going out there.
Yeah, because I see like different acts and like that. But yeah, no, I was gonna say like a lot of musicians, a lot of these like local bands, they started like off doing covers and stuff like that, and like they're doing tribute stuff and they do originals too. And like so, I think like doing those things, like perfecting, like, you know, like the like kind of similar riffs and like that, and like just for me in general, it's like is a really awesome thing to do, no matter what or how you cut it. It's still like art, regardless,
Yeah, man. If you love to play, just go play. Just go
Exactly.
fucking play. I ended up being right now. I'm in 4 bands. I do my AC/DC tribute. I got Fistful of Metal. I got War Cult, and I got Annihilator. And I
Yeah,
do it
yeah.
because a lot of the bands can't always get together. And even now with 4 bands, I will have a whole week when I don't rehearse, and I'm like fucking restless as fuck, man. I'm like, fuck, I want to fucking jam. But luckily, as a singer, I can sing in my car on the way to work,
Yeah.
outside. I
Yeah.
don't always need to be in a practice room with guys where a drummer might need to have to be on a set, for instance.
Yeah.
So I have that luxury, but I'm so fucking restless that I want to keep jamming. And it's a tough thing to juggle, but luckily my wife supports me, and
That's all you
I've
need.
got the
Yeah.
drive. I've got the drive to do it.
Yeah. I think people say it now. It's like, like kids are different, kids are this, and like I'm seeing the young generation now, even like the music side, like they're driven. And like I
They
don't think,
are.
yeah, I don't say
Fuck yeah.
back then kids were driven, and if you're driven, it's gonna be like that forever. It doesn't matter the age or the technology. If you want to do something, you'll do it. If you want to like say something, you'll say it. Regardless if it's good or bad, like you'll do it. So I think kids will like just be kids. Just want to do it. And like as I'm noticing now, I'm seeing like stuff on like all the concerts, all the flyers, like just stories. Like it's like
Yeah.
people just want to do stuff, and like nothing's changed. People still want to get out. It's kind of less now, I guess, technology and the phones, something like that. But people still want like to get the energy out. It's like some things,
Yes.
and some things are kind of secular. I'm pretty sure you saw that band Zap. I posted online and stuff on
Yeah.
Facebook.
Zip.
Yeah, Zip. Okay, I'm sorry. Zip. Yeah. So they're from like the late 70s, early 80s, but like they
Yeah.
jam. They're like way ahead of their time, and like and that kind of energy is back then. The same energy is back here, like to this day. Like
Yes.
it's ever changing, but the love of music is still there. You do it for love of music. Some people become rock
Yeah.
stars. People just want to jam. That's why you make Corpus so different. You just want to jam. But like things like
Absolutely.
people who want to jam and take it seriously, they'll go places like that. But sometimes people don't want to take it seriously. They just want to like have a good time. That's fine too. It's
Yeah.
all right. We just want like just jam, hang out with friends, drink, something like that. Like still, it's no like let's get off my back and just like you just want to give people a good time. Just show you music and stuff. And like I think every single like form of music right now, at least like performed like live or like in Corpus, like for these purposes at least, is like a well worth job worth doing.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you go into it with the right intentions. If you need to make money out of it, maybe it might not be the exact best thing to do if it's metal or punk or hardcore because there's
Yeah,
not too
yeah,
much to make in there. But if you want to do covers, if you can do it, that's where bars will pay you. And so
yeah,
there's something for it. But if not, love it for the integrity of it. Love it for the feel of being on stage, but especially the fun that you have jamming with your bros.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. And I was like, I did theater like for a while and stuff like that in college too. He would like teachers tell me, okay, this is glad you're doing this, but like you want to like kind of be like make it work for you, like have a side gig or like make enough money so you can like okay, I can justify like playing music. So might be a working actor, not a
Yes,
starving actor, not a starving artist. You want to eat and stuff. So you make
of
money
course.
somehow. Yeah,
Yes.
that's things like we're all like humans can agree. Like we just want to eat. You want to like drink water sometimes. Want to like breathe in air and stuff. I mean,
Yeah,
it's all
exactly.
it's
We,
all in
we
like
gotta
that's
have.
what life music. Yeah,
There's nothing wrong with wanting to make a little money to keep the hustle going.
exactly. Yeah,
Yes. Hell
and,
yeah.
and it's like it doesn't hurt. Like you take a break and stuff like that. Like if you like want to continue, that's cool. If you don't want to continue, that's cool. You're an adult. You're human. You can do whatever you want. As long as it's not hurting anyone, you can just do whatever.
Yes. Well, thinking about how the scene here in Corpus has had its different eras.
Yeah, it's changed. It's changed.
And I really don't want to break it up, but what I really want to point out is that right now, right here and now in Corpus Christi, you got some fantastic fucking bands from the heaviest to the almost progressive, but
There you
yet
go.
so
Yeah.
fucking angry and still with a lot to say. And what I'm saying, I'm pointing out a band called Tild, and I'm talking about on the other end. I'm talking about Torture. I'm talking about Womb Rot, Throat Locust. But I'm also talking about other bands like Gratitude TX, like who else is like our friends in Votan, Bobby and the guys in Votan. We got so many great bands that are out there at this moment right now that have been grinding for maybe 10 years or only grinding for 2 years, but they've got a lot done in just those 2 years. So I'm really inspired, and I'm very proud of the scene that I'm a part of with my band War Cult, with the Wrath Upon the Skies, with these guys Shigella, who I just met the other night.
Nice.
Fantastic 3-piece, heavy as fuck. There's so many good bands that are coming out of here that I'm forgetting to name right now, that I've had here on my show even, but like Action Get Action. Those guys are killers. Let's Over the Enemy, you know, sure they're a little bit down south, but they're still our homies.
Yeah, we're all from Texas, you know. It's like
that's and then of course we got to shout out Periwinkle Massacre, all our bros and Knife Party, all our bros in Modern Day Renegade and Zombie King and Haunt the Sleep. We got some great fucking bands, you know.
There's great from like the metal scene. There's great from like the death metal scene. There's great from like ska scene. There's great from like alt. There's like great from like all these like different genres, and like they're performing here in Corpus and stuff. Like, because like the first show I went to Boozers, I saw DRI and I saw Switchblade Jesus. And I was like, man, what a name! And I saw them before. I was like, this band is so awesome, and like they're local. And I was like, what the hell? They're so good and tight and like. And I was like,
man. Eric and the guys in Switchblade are fucking hard rockers, man. Shit.
Eric's a homie. I talked to him. He's really nice. He's really great supporter of the page. You know, shout out to everyone who helps out with the page. But Eric, it's really cool.
Yes, big shout out to Eric Calvert and Frost Giant Electronics. If you need a pedal, you need to look at Frost Giant Electronics. We're putting out the best pedals here, right out of Corpus. Look him up.
The best
Frost
pedal in the South.
Eric Calvert from Switchblade Jesus, from Throat Locust. And he lives it, he breathes it, man. It's all good shit. Let's see. Guys, we're not done with the show yet. I see my Rolo is like, hey, this is a great show, Corpus music history stories, and please share. Definitely, man. And that's what I wanted tonight to be. You know, I love that Sergio really brought the light of all the history. And even though he's you know, how old are you, Serge?
Yeah, I'm 28. Like, I'm not that,
you know what I mean?
That young.
And I'm going to be there. And I'll be 54 this year, but you know what I mean? So we're on two ends of the spectrum, really, but we're in the same spectrum. You know what I mean? We're at the same places and doing the same things with the same people, having the same good time. And it really doesn't matter what your age is, just so long as you just have some things in common. And
it's like your passion.
Yeah. And so I think that's what I love about this show is it gives us a chance to bring up that old Corpus history and just remember all these great talented musicians that have built up the music scene that we have today. And I'm really proud of the scene that is building right now, because we got some madmen out there. We got some really badass bands like Heavy Soul, like the Young Classics, like the Chain Links. I'm Raul Ayala. We got some fun. Of course, Cat House in the house. You know, great bands. You know, TBA Texas Noise been at it for a long time. Man. Steven and the guys.
That was so much fun. I was seeing them for I think second, third time. I was like, bro, they're really good. I enjoyed them. Yeah, great singer too. Yeah, a lot of great singers here.
Yes, definitely great singers, man. Hell yeah. And my wife is so funny. I'm surprised she's still watching. She says, I get better with age. You're too sweet, honey. Hell yeah. Yes. Yeah. Well, we try. We try to do better with age.
Like fine wine.
I want to finish on a fun note. I know we've been here in about an hour and a half. Let's wrap things up with a couple of things. What's your favorite movie, man? What do you like? You like comedies, horror? What's your go-to movie? What makes you feel good? Like, hey, I want to check this out again. It never gets old.
Oh shit, that's kind of hard.
Maybe if there's a couple.
Yeah, okay. I like the director of David Lynch. He's the guy who did Twin Peaks, Blue Velvet, Elephant Man. He did Dune. I don't know if you've seen the old Dune.
Yes.
Tom McLaughlin and Patrick Stewart.
Good stuff. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, I like David Lynch, like Dune, and I like like with some horror. Like my dad got me into like Italian horror. So there's this really cool film called Suspiria.
I've heard of
Like
that. Yes,
that's a really good metal band. Like but
that too.
the movie, yeah. My friend's like, Suspiria, isn't that a metal band? I was like I guess, but like the movie Suspiria is like it's very very vivid and beautiful and stuff like that. Like it's about this girl like from America who goes to, I think, Italy to her this ballet company and like just a ballet school, and like things happen, murders happens, a lot of like
Yeah.
weird school, and also like there's this band who's really really cool like synth. They're like a progressive, I think, rock band. I think in the 70s 80s called Goblin. I don't know if you heard of Goblin.
Goblin. Okay. No, I hadn't.
So I'll send you some stuff about Goblin, but like they're really really cool. And like my dad got me into it, and I was like, it's such a cool film. But like
Whoa.
check out Suspiria. Suspiria is really really cool. And like what else?
All right. All right. I like
Yeah
that.
yeah yeah. But like something like so like some personal stuff I like just fun stuff. Oh, I love Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
The
You said
bugs.
Starship Troopers?
Yes, that's the one.
Hey,
Yeah,
dude, I
Starship
love that, dude.
Troopers.
That's
So
what I'm thinking. Denise
Paul Van,
Richards and
yeah,
who
what's
else?
the guys?
I always
But I
think,
know. So
oh, the
Paul,
other guy. Yeah.
so
Anyway, Starship Troopers.
yeah,
That's a banger. That's a
yeah,
classic. I
yeah,
love those fucking
like
aliens. They're fucking big,
yeah.
fast, and
So
brutal.
when I was a kid, I don't know why my mom left. Like shout out to my mom, she's always been a great supporter of me and stuff. But like she's like, well, he likes this movie. I guess we'll get it for him. So I wore that VHS tape down, dude. And like I used to have the action figure of like the bug and stuff like that. And I can't
Yeah.
find it, but it was a lot of money now. But like I had it as a kid, and like so that director did RoboCop, like in Total
Oh
Recall.
yeah.
As Paul Van Hoover, but like he was a European director, but like he did a lot of American movies and stuff.
Very cool,
But
man. All right.
yeah, that's
Hey,
my favorite stuff. Yeah.
I like
What's your
that, man. I
favorite?
like that.
Yeah.
And RoboCop's one of my favorite sci-fi movies
Dude,
too.
exactly. It's such a
Love
fun
that
movie.
shit.
Yeah.
My dad's a retired cop, so seeing a fucking cop go out there and being all fucking robo and kicking ass, I was like, yeah, I relate to that. I was like, hey, just like my dad, he's gonna fucking, if something happens to him, he's gonna be the next
Oh,
RoboCop.
criminal
Shout out to my
scum.
dad. But real
Damn,
quick,
dude.
on the topic of movies, you made me think of a movie that is a really it kind of went below the radar, but it's called The Sword and the Sorcerer, and
Oh
it's a
yeah, it's a good
medieval
Disney.
movie. Have you ever seen that one?
Is that the Disney one or the Sword and the
No, it's
Sorcerer?
not. It's a lot of it's about fucking a badass named Talon that fucking basically just kicks ass everywhere and saves a fair
Oh,
maiden and saves the day. But it's about fucking wizards and fucking black magic and all kinds of shit.
oh,
Uh,
dude, that's my
Good
jam. No,
stuff, dude. Kind of like
my
Excalibur, kind of knights
yeah,
and all that
I
kind
was
of
about to
stuff,
bring Excalibur, but
wizards
like
and
my dad.
Merlin and stuff. So
So my dad, yeah, yeah,
deep cut,
my dad.
Sword and the Sorcerer. You can look it up. It's on YouTube for free.
I'll
So you
check it
guys
out. But
check
like
it out.
my
Let me know what you think. How about
also
this? Are you
Conan
into
the
wrestling?
Barbarian. Oh yeah, I'm wrestling too. I like the history of it, but like I was saying, like I see a couple of matches and stuff, but like my uncle saw a lot of matches back in the day at the Alamo Dome and like Coliseum. But
Oh
yeah, no,
shit, at the Alamo Dome, damn, there were some good ones there.
dude, yeah,
Some big names.
so my favorite wrestler and personal favorite wrestler, I like Dusty Rhodes, something like that. But like I love Gold Dust. It's a guy. I like his gimmick. He's crazy. He does some crazy stuff. I like his glitter
Yes.
and hair metal and stuff like that.
Right, that's far out, dude. Undertaker's always my favorite.
Dude, he's a classic, yeah.
Yes, American Badass. Yes, I love him.
Yes, no,
And then
Undertaker.
a close second, I gotta say, I love The Rock.
Dude, yeah, and also like fun fact, like one of his first like much of wrestling match, or like the big one was like here in Corpus at the Coliseum.
No shit.
Yeah, no, so if you want to get deep into the wrestling history and stuff, check out my page. I post like some stuff like that has to deal with like wrestling, because like at the Coliseum there are like some really big matches like Andre
Yeah.
the Giant or Dusty Rhodes. I make sure like
Yep.
here, I make it a point to like to post the pictures I want that has like the dates and like the bands. But if it has like the wrestling thing nearby it or adjacent, I make it a point like I crop the picture and post the wrestling thing because I'm a big wrestling fan. Like all the Von Erichs, they fought here in Corpus.
Yes. Fuck yeah.
Yes, yeah, the Iron Claw and stuff like that, and like I think it was like I forget the actual like the federation name for it, but it was like a local thing.
It was world class
But
championship
yes,
wrestling. Yes,
yes, they
they used to
was
show
here.
it on
Yes,
Saturday nights, and
hell yeah.
but it would tour. It would tour, and
Yes.
I've seen two. I've been to two of them. The other one was Southwest Championship Wrestling,
Oh,
and Southwest used to have like Al Madril, fucking Junkyard Dog,
there
fucking
you go. It's a classic one.
Bob
Yeah,
Sweetan, Bruiser Brody, and
two
and
Bruiser
that's
Brody.
it was all a Texas thing. So yeah, they would
Yes.
also be switching off because Bruiser would fight the Von Erichs too in World Class Championship Wrestling.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and like
they were switching circuits, you know what I mean? Just rock and rolling. Those guys are like
yeah,
rock stars too.
dude, yeah, they're like they're performers, something like that.
Yeah,
They're as good equivalent like as like musicians because like people say oh it's fake, but like they're still doing stunts. They're stuntmen and stuff like that.
yeah.
They're making sure no one gets hurt, but they're still flipping each other and like just
It's fucking
doing all this
wild.
stuff. It's
That's
wild,
right.
like and also like so bring it back to my home. Like, I think I haven't told it, but I'm from Alice, Texas and stuff. We had a VFW. Like my mom and her cousin Ruby went to see a wrestling match, but they saw Hacksaw Duggan and
Yes.
Roddy Piper
Yeah.
in Alice at the
Fuck
VFW.
yeah. Hey, shout
Those
out
are
right there. We had Richard shouting out Roddy Piper. Hell yeah. And Hacksaw
oh
Jim Duggan come out
yeah,
there with a fucking, like a 2 by
yes.
4
She
Fuck yeah,
told
ready
me
to
about
kick
that,
some
and I was
ass.
like, oh yeah, the Casey Hall and stuff like that, Knights of Columbus Hall, and like that's the common thing. Like
Good
Alice, Corpus,
times.
a lot of
Yeah,
shit happened in our Casey halls. Just too much to talk about, but like it's
that's
on
where
the
it went
CC
down.
Riffs page. So we have some posters from the Casey Hall shows in Corpus. Some people save the posters, take a picture, post on the KC Riffs, like the CC Riffs, like this page.
Yes, please share it. If you guys got some cool wrestling stuff, put it on the CC
Oh,
Riffs
dude.
page. And so, yeah, listen up, everybody out there. CC Riffs page that's on Facebook. If you got some classic memorabilia, ticket stubs, pictures with musicians, no matter what genre, flyers, posters, share it on there. It's a community page. Everybody's welcome to join. Come rock on that page with us. All right. There's so much stuff. You're going to get so much good times and memories out of that page. Thank you for creating that, Sergio.
Yeah, no problem. I've been doing I've been doing the project for like 7 months, something like that. But recently, I think in July, I was like, oh shit, I got to be more social online. So I made the Facebook page. Like, oh, this is doing. I mean, it was all doing all right. I would like post every now and then.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I have a YouTube channel. I gotta rebrand that to CC Riffs. Like, okay, then I make an extra Instagram page because like, what I found out was like the kids are on Instagram right now. Like the younger generation's on Instagram. The people who actually went to concerts, they're on Facebook because a lot of the friends on Facebook too. So it makes sense to have a Facebook page. But like a lot of the kids, they love pictures on the Instagram I posted, like other like the Social Pilots, the Aussie show, the Slayer show. Slayer show made like almost 100 likes. It's been crazy.
They were great pics. I got to meet this guy, Teddy. I'm like, who the hell is a huge Slayer fan like me? And I don't know him yet. Like shit.
Yeah, no, Teddy's a good guy, something like that. He's in Corpus. He lives in the Florida area now, but like he posts sometimes, but like I talk to him like on Messenger sometimes. But he's a really great guy, has a great load of information, crazy stories. Are like I was like, they really happened. You did that?
Hell
You
yeah.
saw that? But Teddy's really nice. Like most of the people I talk to online, they didn't really give me any flack. Just been nice. Everyone's been nice and stuff like that. And I try to like the page. I try not to like don't say this. I just try like just lead by example. Just be kind, be nice. And so far, people been doing that. We have some cases, but like, what can you do?
Yeah, what can you do? I'm gonna throw out a name real quick. This guy would get amazing pictures, just like the ones you're talking about that Teddy showed. His name is Rudy Leal. Anybody out there that's watching the show know who I'm talking about, Rudy Leal? If he's still alive, please tell Rudy to start putting some pictures on CC Riffs. Because I've got two pictures for Rudy or Metallica of Hetfield and Lars that are just fucking the fucking bomb. And me and Roland would hang out at Diamond Gyms, which, you know, have you heard of that game room that used to be in Sunrise Mall?
I haven't. No.
That was
Diamond
the
Gyms.
hangout back in the day, in the late night, in the late '80s, maybe early '90s. That was the hangout at Sunrise Mall. They used to have two game rooms, Aladdin's Castle upstairs and Diamond Gyms in the bottom. And me and Roland were regulars there. I had a record on Galaga, the super high record. I was there for 8 hours. He had the super high record on Robotron, dude. So we were there all the time. We used to buy like $10 worth of tokens, and you used to get like $20 worth. And so I'd get my $10. I'd hold on to 10. I'd sell the other 10. So I'd have some fucking lunch money with what I sold. And
dude.
We're always trying to get a hustle to try and stretch out our gameplay money.
That's why you can do arcades,
Yeah, of course, exactly. So Diamond Gyms was like the hangout for everybody back then. And there was also, I'm trying to think, Record Bar was the go-to place to go buy your music. And so Record Bar was there. Upstairs, you had Walden B Books, so that's where you went to go buy your Hit Paraders and your Cream magazines and Circus or Rolling Stone. But they also had the Dollar Cinemas going on, and we had Riches. Yeah, I'm sure Riches used to be in the mall, and so that's where you went to
Riches.
Yeah, so they sold tickets there for a while, and you could always buy your patches, your T-shirts, and all that good shit over there. And
I never.
Just super stuff, man. So I tell you what, I'm going to finish off with a segment called Draw the Line. But before we get to Draw the Line, is there anything that you have in the works that maybe you want to share with us?
I mean,
I know you got a lot in your plate.
Yeah, keep it hush hush, but like people like just in talks to me, you know. I've been getting like there's like some, I can't say it out loud yet. I might message you, Tony, but I'm trying to like, someone has a bootleg of a certain show that's legendary. I might, it's just in the process, in the hands and stuff like that. It might happen, it might not. Like these things, like they take time, you know. And like I hope for the best, but you don't expect the worst. But like I hope these things work, and if it doesn't, you know, I'll tell you, I'll tell people, but I won't like make it public yet. But like
Okay, I'll keep my fingers crossed that we pull off a big surprise and have something really special to share with us.
I mean, if I can get Iggy Pop, like the bootleg from Corpus, I can do a lot of things. But anyway, cut this thing off. Rudy Liao, I think he's still around. I talked to his cousin, Michael. So he was in the band with you, Malignancy, I think. I met him up. He said, "Yeah, my cousin Rudy, he's still around and stuff like that." Yeah, I talked to him. Yeah,
bass player.
Yeah, I talked to him. He's really cool. I met him at his shop and stuff. I worked right next. Yeah, I guess how I got some of the stuff. That's how I got like the Bayfest thing.
He's related to Rudy.
I think so. I mean, I think he's related. Don't quote me on that. I want to say, he knows him, and like I know Rudy.
Very cool.
And Ralph told me Rudy's like he's around. He exists. I don't think he's on Facebook or if he is, he's like low profile, but he's still around. I think.
Wow.
And he just saw. I heard stories. He just saw his concert like pictures. At the Sunrise Mall.
Yeah, right there in front of Diamond Gyms, dude.
That's where I knew that. I knew that.
He was like, it was like he was the drug guy, but for heavy metal pictures, he'd be hanging out, be like, "Hey, you got some new pictures? Yeah. Who you looking for?
Exactly.
You got any Van Halen?"
Pusher, yeah.
He goes, "Yeah, I got some Van Halen. Where were you last week? You got any Motley Crue? Yeah, I think I got a few Motley Crues in here. Let me see what I can show you."
He was a hustler,
it was funny,
you know.
Dude. He was badass.
Okay, cool. That's also that's my 2 cents and something like that. But let's do this, Tony.
You got it. Okay, here we go. So draw the line. I'm going to give you a couple of topics or 2 musicians, maybe 2 subjects, and you tell me which ones you prefer or which ones you got to go with. So let's start something simple. We'll test the waters. How about, who do you like between Stone Sour versus Slipknot?
Dude, Slipknot.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
What do you prefer when it comes to collectibles, a poster or a flyer?
Dude, it's hard. I like posters more sometimes.
I like big. Big is good.
Yeah, as you can see in my room, I have a 9 Inch Nails poster, and like you can't see if I have a Batman poster, like a lithograph.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
kick
like the
ass.
posters. Yeah, yeah, okay,
How
yeah.
about vinyls versus CDs?
I mean, I think CDs are cool because like they have information and stuff, and like there's like it's easier. But like I don't have a CD player, but I do have a record player, so I'm going to vinyls.
Hey,
Yeah,
hell yeah. And vinyls are coming around. I know they've already kind
dude,
of
dude, dude.
saturated again since they've had the resurgence. And it's funny because I tried to play some vinyls in here on the weekend, and
Mhm.
I plugged my vinyl player in. All of a sudden, it starts smoking. I'm like, oh shit. So I
Yeah,
need to replace my I need to replace my
go
vinyl. So
try
my
it out to
wife's
Hybrid Records. They're a good place. You can buy everything there locally.
hey, shout out to Carlos at Hybrid Records. Hell yeah.
There you
Thank you,
go. But
Carlos
yeah,
at Hybrid Records. Hell yeah. I bought a lot of records over there. Fair prices. That's what I like to say. Fair
exactly.
prices over there for good stuff. Good stuff.
Like
Okay, how
yeah,
about
any
our next one? How about crowd surfing versus mosh pitting?
oh, dude, easy. Moshing. Um,
Yes. Love me some
so
moshes.
my
I've retired from the mosh pit.
yeah, yeah,
I'll be the
of
first to tell
course,
you.
yeah. But like you gotta like it's a thing. It's like it's respect. You know, it's like
Yeah.
you're literally like giving people the consent to like push you around. But if you're not if you're in the corner, it's like you don't go at them. But like
You
yeah,
keep
it's like
the rotation going. You keep
exactly, dude. And
keep it
like
going.
my uncles, the
Yeah.
one who went to Lollapalooza, they taught me like how to do a first mosh pit at Rob Zombie and Corn. They told me like, Sergio, you gotta keep your balance so you don't fall and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
like fist up and just like keep your balance. It's center of gravity. I was like, damn, dude. But yeah, moshing all the
It's
way.
for real. Shit happens real
It's a
fast.
science. Yes, I heard bad, but I have not had anything bad happen to me yet. But
Yeah.
hope for the best. Expect the worst.
I'm definitely a mosh pitter, and but before I was still doing some crowd surfing. The last time I crowd surfed, it was in San Antonio at the showcase, and it was on Sepultura's Arise tour. They came to the showcase, and it was called the Clash of the Titans, and it was Sick of It All, Fudge Tunnel, Sacred Reich, and a Sepultura headline. Well, anyway, it was. I think it was during not Desperate Cry, but it was the one about dead embryonic cells. I climbed up on stage and I jumped off, and when I jumped off, the crowd cleared, and I literally landed right on my back, dude. Bam! Lost all my
No.
air out of myself. I jumped up faster than fucking anything, and I was
Hell yeah,
just grabbing
dude.
somebody, just trying to breathe for life, dude. So
That's what's
after that
up.
one, I said,
Yeah.
"Fuck that shit." I never stage dived again.
There you go. Yeah, no, he's like this Jack Black scene in School of Rock. Like, oh,
Yeah, that's more of a belly flop. I did it. I jumped in. I landed on. I did like more like a back flop.
there you
So
go.
I fucked myself up.
Yeah, you
Holy
gotta be
shit!
careful. Yeah.
I got a few more for us, real quick. How about Static X versus Mudvayne? Who do you like out of them two?
I mean, RIP Static X and stuff. I guess Static X. Yeah. So
Did you get
my
to see some Static X over there at the Sick New World?
I missed their set, but like my uncles, I think I told you the story personally, but like my uncle's like hey, Sergio, Static X is gonna play in Corpus, and I was like, want to go? And I was like, I forgot what I was doing. I was like, oh, they always play. They're whatever. I'll see you next time. And haven't 2 weeks later, singer dies.
He dies. Yeah, I know.
Yes,
Shit, I played with
I
them
think.
that night. Yeah, it
What?
was over zeros. It was
Yeah, I
over
think
zeros, dude.
that's the show they went to, and I was like, oh,
Oh,
I
he
guess I'm
should have
not gonna
been there. It
see
was a
him.
great show.
I forget it was
He was
doing.
getting blasted that whole night. I remember his wife was. It seemed like almost between every song or every other song, she was either giving him another drink or giving him a pill. And
God
man,
damn, dude,
they were getting
that's
slammed. They were getting slammed. But the music was tight. No
dude. It
matter
was
how
so,
blasted he was, the music was still tight.
and it
And
was a
that's the
sold
thing
out
about
packed
Static
show. I
X.
heard. Yeah.
It is fucking on the money, and I can't take it away from him. Wayne sounded badass. So rest in peace, Wayne. Rest in peace, buddy. And speaking of rest in peace, Darth Vader died today. James
He
Earl
did.
Jones. Yeah,
Yeah,
man. Oh my
man.
God, Mufasa, man. Oh my God, one of the
Yeah, no,
best
he.
voices ever to be out there, ever. When you hear Darth Vader talk, you know it's fucking Darth Vader. When you hear him breathe, you know it's Darth Vader. It
Yeah, I
takes
know. Yeah.
what an artist, man. What an
Yeah,
artist.
no. Conan the Barbarian was like my is like
Yeah,
also After
Conan, dude.
Stores. Yeah, and also
Yes.
yeah, Field of Dreams is a good one too.
Field of Dreams.
Also,
Yes, give me some more. How about
so,
Sandlot? He was the old man in
Sandlot,
Sandlot.
that took me way off guard when I first saw it and stuff. But actually, let's sidetrack. He was an actor and stuff like that. Like at that speed, Shakespeare. He did a really, really good play called Fences. I'll send you a clip of that, but it's really, really beautiful and stuff. Like his acting skills on the stage too. I'll send you that later,
Yeah.
but it was really good.
You know, he's one of the few entertainers or performers that have got a Tony Award, an Emmy Award, a Grammy Award, and an Oscar.
Hell yeah,
Guy has
dude. That's
done it
cool
all.
stuff.
It was 93. 93. And definitely one of my heroes, man. Darth Vader has always been one of my favorite characters in all the movies that I've ever seen. And I've got him here in my wall, here in the podcast room. He's one of my favorite villains. And I just feel like he's one of those anti-heroes, you know, because he wasn't always
Yeah,
a bad guy. He
yeah.
just shit happens. So you want to fuck with, you know, you want to fuck with the devil comes out.
That's
So
what happens. Yeah, no, it's a good
shit
one. Okay,
happens. Okay, let's
let's
get
go
back to
next.
it. I got two more for you. Megadeth versus Metallica.
I mean, um, Megadeth is good. I understand their place, but Metallica just got me like they like gateway drugs to metal and stuff like that. Like Metallica all the way. It's like I listen to more Metallica than I do Megadeth and stuff. I just damn. But yeah, I like more Metallica more than Megadeth. So yeah, so Metallica all the way.
Metallica all day. Okay, and the last
Mm-hmm.
one. What do you prefer? Modern rock versus classic rock?
Oh shit. I guess modern rock and stuff. Like
Who do you like listening
modern.
to now? Who are a couple of your favorite bands?
Oh, shit. What's your phone? I like Oh, I more of like more of a hardcore guy. I like the band Fleshwater. They're really cool. Shout out
Oh
Fleshwater.
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Flesh. I like Fleshwater. And what else I listen to? Been on a Type of Negative kick, so I listen to Type of Negative and stuff. They're like I think modern. I think of like post '90s and stuff.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
classic is like more like '70s. I guess '80s. I guess.
True.
But yeah,
Absolutely, absolutely.
Fleshwater and Type of Negative and stuff.
Well,
Those
I
two
gotta
are.
give a big shout out to Flesh Hoarder and Mike DeLeon and Nick and all the guys in that band. They're gonna be in town this Saturday. They're gonna be at the Black Monk Tavern. We got Ill Adjusted. We got my band War Cult. It's gonna be Tortured. It's gonna be Throat Locust. And Flesh Hoarder is gonna be in the house. This same time last year, Flesh Hoarder was opening up for Pantera
Oh no
on the
shit.
Legacy tour, and they did a 3-day run with the guys, and they fucking kicked ass every show. I saw them in Austin. They were amazing. So Flesh Hoarder is going to be in town. We barely ever, I don't think we've ever had to pay for a show at the Black Monk Tavern. But this Saturday will be one show that we will pay for, but only $5. 5 cheap bucks. But we got to take care of Flesh Hoarder, all right? So come out
Dude,
Saturday
that's
to the
right
Black
there.
Monk
Yeah.
Tavern. It's going to be a huge show. Come early. My band War Cult's going to be playing. Shout out to all my guys, David, Brian, Eric, and Brandon and War Cult. We were just in Precision Studio this weekend. Shout out to Robert Beltran with Precision Studio, taking care of our new song called Terror Eyes. And can't wait to do that. But yeah, Flesh Hoarder in the house. Look at this shirt right here. Flesh fucking Hoarder right there.
Hell yeah,
Love
dude.
it. Love it,
I
man.
just,
This is some of the
I just
best
straight,
death metal
I
that's
just straight
out
my
there.
T-shirt.
Yeah.
I
That's
present.
what I'm talking about. Yes. Man, Sergio, it's been nothing but fun. And it always is every time we get together because we just love all the music and we love all the history. And I just like to be able to bounce back these different stories with you. And I had a great time tonight, man. I hope you had a great time too.
Oh, of course. Yeah. No, I really enjoyed it, Tony. I mean, I always enjoy hanging out with you and talking with you and stuff, and just talking music and shop.
And I'll have to get you back on here again. Please let me help you out next time you got something coming up.
Yeah,
I'm sure I can have something I can contribute, and I'd love to in any way or fashion. And shout out to all our friends that joined us, my friends, Sergio's friends, everybody that's seen the Tony Gomez show. Please subscribe so that way you know what's coming up next. I'm always having bands up here or friends, movers, shakers coming up here, usually every Monday. I'm trying to get the guys from Flesh Hoarder. I already talked to Mike yesterday. I'm going to talk to him tomorrow. He's going to be back in Texas tomorrow from his European Soulfly tour.
That's so
And we're going
crazy,
to see if we can
dude.
get the guys on the Tony Gomez show for maybe about 20, 30 minutes at the rehearsal that's going down this week. So I'm keeping
That's
my
so
fingers crossed.
badass, man.
Flesh Hoarders never let me down. They've been on the show already before. Mike's been on the show 3 times. And so I really think I'm going to get them. And if I can't, I'm going to try and get my guys War Cult or possibly Throat Locust in here to talk about the show coming up this Saturday. But big shout out to Booker Sugar, to my best friend Roland Fedez, to Richard Montes. Who else we have in here? Big shout outs to M.